do everything off memory, so I don't need images.
You don't need what?
I do everything off memory, so I don't need pictures or images.
I kind of hate that you asked him to repeat that.
Ain't got good memory.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad somebody acknowledges and it's recorded.
I mean, you said it. I ain't got no shame. They say too much of the, pictures and videos is not healthy, so I'm glad you take the healthier route. It's the funniest context when no one knows what we're talking about.
It'll be good on the rewatch or to listen.
What?
Y'all sound good? I sound good? Y'all ready?
I'm ready. We're good.
Yeah.
You ready?
Episode 32. What'd you say, Jason?
I said, we good. It's on you, brother.
Okay, look, first, get it out the way, because don't interrupt I don't get to do the intro, so Jason, don't interrupt my intro. All right. I'm just kidding.
You got it, King. Take care of it.
Yeah, good. Jazz, you good? Anything you want to say?
Nah, Chris. All right, cool. It's all you. You got it.
All right, y'all. Episode 32 Was It Good Though podcast. Of course, we're here to discuss, debate, review, disagree. We don't argue too much. We try to stay away from that, but if it comes up, then it is what it is. Some of your favorite movies and TV shows, old and new. I'm Chris. You guys should know that by now. But of course, we have two amazing, wonderful co-hosts. First of all, we got Jazz. Jazz with the, first of all, hoodie gang. What? And we didn't coordinate this, by the way, for everyone.
I know. We got hoodies on today, like matching.
So we just like that. So, but yeah, Jazz, hoodie gang. How you feeling, Jazz?
I'm good. I am good. Chris, you doing a good job on the intro. Keep it going, brother.
That makes me happy. I'm gonna be in a good mood the rest of the episode. Jason, how you feeling today, Jason?
I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling good, man. Blessed is good. Jazz is good. So we all good. And we got a good episode for y'all coming up. I'm speaking it into existence. It hasn't happened yet, but I already know it's gonna be a good episode. Episode 32. We got Bullet Train. Bullet Train, of course, is an ensemble movie, I would say. Like the cast list is stacked, so Lincoln-Thorne's finna be fire. But this came out early this year. It came out in the summertime, so I think July or August, I believe. But it just hit Netflix recently. Why is Jason making that face? What's up? We good? Did I mess up something?
Nah, he probably is looking through his notes like, let me check, make sure the month is right.
He's like, is this really an ensemble cast? No, but yeah, it dropped in the summer. Really good film. I saw it when it came out, and then of course it's on Netflix, widely available for everyone else. Yeah, this is a good movie, but of course, before we get into it, please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate. I appreciate all the support we've gotten, especially for the Wednesday episodes. You guys have been killing it. We went back to back, like Jordan, 96, 97, 100 plus views. I think we got, did we hit 300 yet on episode 31?
I think right now it's at 299.
Okay, so
by the time this drop, yep, we're gonna be there.
Somebody watching it right now. They won't watch the Nope episode, but they definitely finna watch that. So everybody, thanks for watching. Yeah, we finna get in the Bullet Train. And of course, we got a treat for y'all today because Jazz, JL Step, 3, gonna be leading. We so used to Jason leading. We gotta switch it up for y'all. So I got the intro. Jazz finna pop out with the lead on Bullet Train. And the floor is yours, Jazz.
First off, Chris, like hyping it up, and y'all know that I hate to lead, but I was just like, let me go ahead and do it for Bullet Train. Jason, what? You dabbing? All right, I mean, you know what it is.
I mean, you know, we were trying to do that for you because you remember you said you was trying to do like handstands and dabs, so I'm just making sure we hype you up.
Why are you bringing that back up? There's so many other things you could have said.
I mean, that was like Cam Newton when he was in his prime, like he was dabbing all over the place. So I feel like we got you here.
It's funny because by the time this episode drops, we're gonna realize if y'all lost or won to the Cowboys. I pray y'all lose in Tampa.
What was like?
But anyway,
what was the point of the shot? So, and I was congratulating y'all was at the peak.
Chris, excuse me, Jason. We can continue. Nobody wants to hear us go back and forth. That's why y'all nothing. We're not bringing sports into
You know
this.
what? At the end of the day, you're right, Jazz. You know what, Jazz?
Yeah. Now y'all see what kind of episode it's about to be.
I'm done with it, but I appreciate that Denver orange you got on, baby. Let's go.
What?
Oh.
I appreciate that Denver orange that she has on. Who won the Super Bowl when Carolina played?
Oh wow!
Thank you. I'm so sick of having
clap for that. I'm sick of having to
explain the different things. I shouldn't have to explain why she has on Denver orange.
Bro,
so I can't wear orange?
Omaha. Let's go. We run the play. Omaha, run the play.
I can't wear orange? Anyway.
Omaha, run it.
So, Bullet Train, everybody.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for, Bullet Train. So, since we already see what kind of energy we're about to be, this may not be an episode you want to listen or watch around children. Fair warning right now, because I already see what kind of energy Jason is on. So yes, that is your warning. So our introduction into Bullet Train, we have a father who is looking very upset in a hospital room. And he's looking in the angles of a young boy that is in a hospital bed. And did y'all catch the shot going to the TV in that first commercial that was showing? I guess because Bullet Train is set in Tokyo, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. So you get all that Tokyo vibes, commercials, and everything like that. Did y'all check out the animated character that was on the commercial?
Mm-hmm. Who was it?
I missed it.
Okay. Well, it's going to be referenced through the entire movie, so we'll come back to it.
Okay.
And then the next thing that's aired is a news report about a poisonous snake, which is also going to come back up. So you see two different elements that we're going to see later in the movie come up, and it's on his TV. So the father is upset. This is the character that we're introduced. We don't get really names. Everybody has code names. If y'all are watching, you see Jason's code name is the Diesel. If you've seen this movie, you know what a diesel is. Damn shame. But anyway, so we're introduced to the father. He's upset. His father comes in, and we find out that character is the elder. If y'all seen previous movies, he's a very solid character. He got some skills, but we're going to talk about that later too. So the elder is discussing what happened. He's asking the father what happened to the son. He hasn't woken up yet. He seems like he's in a coma. And the father got, I believe, a note from somebody. And he sees a rose at the bottom on the floor of the hospital bed. So the father just knows that the son fell or he was pushed, but something happened to him. It didn't seem like it was an accident. And he wasn't around. So the elder kind of was blaming him a little bit. It's just like, a father's duty is to protect the family.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all feel like this was probably not the right time to say this? Because read the room. Like, obviously I'm upset. Did y'all get, what did y'all feel the dynamic was between these two characters?
I liked it, but I also think it may tie into more of a culture thing. So that's you have to protect the family, and it was sort of look away on the father when my child is not protecting his seed, because how does that look on me as far as how I raised you? So I sort of took it that way. And as we see, throughout the film, he cares very much, but it was just sort of, it was a little bit harsh at the beginning. So
I agree. That was good. I didn't think about that. Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, so opening up, it definitely felt harsh. As the story progressed, you kind of see why he was that way toward his son, but we also see why he was really that way towards his son. You have two reasons we find out as it goes through, but he should have been harsher, actually. That's just my personal opinion, just based on, we find out what really happened. And we don't really see what the father was doing, but he wasn't on his job like he was supposed to be.
Right, I agree. So then we get a scene of the father. He's in a bathroom washing his face, and he's holding a gun. So it's just like, okay, what is he about to do? Obviously, to figure out who got his son in the hospital. And then we get a scene, we are introduced to Ladybug, Brad Pitt character. He's very, seems like he went through a life-changing event that has him looking at things differently, incorporating his fate, if he has any kind of luck, all of that. And he's on the phone with, as we find out later, the handler. He's doing a job, and he's replacing somebody by the name of,
Carver.
Carver. We don't like Carver. Carver is trash.
Yeah, we don't like Carver.
He's an asshole, like all of that. So Ladybug is on the phone walking through Tokyo. I love the aesthetics and the just the set that he was walking through on his way to the bullet train. I thought it was just so dope. And we see two characters. We see Ladybug he bumps into the father. So it's just like, okay, we're already two of our characters are in the same location. And during that interaction, a key is dropped. Now, it doesn't really tell you, like, symbolize whose key it was, but then we find out that it was Ladybug's key to Ladybug to get into his locker.
Yeah, of course.
And right, he's just talking about luck and bad luck and all of that stuff as he's on the phone with the handler. He gets some of the items that he gets out of his locker was some Pop Rocks, some sleeping powder. He leaves the gun, which probably wasn't the best decision, but yeah, he's trying to find his center and not cause too much, I guess, bring bad energy into his life. Jason, would you agree?
Well, yeah. Yeah, he's trying to get to a better center. And one thing I don't know if he was gonna bring it up that you did mention was the one scene before that when he stepped off the curb. We see his name. He almost got hit by the bus,
right?
Or hit by that truck, which also comes up in this movie again.
Yep.
But can I let you get that?
Oh no! Was there anything else you wanted to add? Because I like where you were going.
No, that was it. That scene comes back. That comes back up. A lot of stuff in the middle. I'm not in the middle. In the beginning, they're just small tidbits, but they grow and they grow as the movie progresses, and it comes back up at the end of the movie. So
I was hoping you were going to bring up Terry from Final Destination or Regina George from Mean Girls, but
I've never seen Mean Girls.
You did say that. Chris has.
I do know about Terry. Stepping off with the bus, but
when I saw that scene, I was like, oh, he almost got Terry, but I was just like, not yet. And so Ladybug is able to get on the train, and the handler is explaining the type of job that he's about to do. It's a snatch and grab. She's saying it's a simple job. Ladybug is like, yeah, no, there's no such thing as like a simple job. And then they also mentioned one of his previous jobs where he was taking pictures of some individual in his car, and then a bail handler thought that was the best time to go ahead and commit suicide, jump off the roof, land on top of Ladybug's car, which sounds terrible, but they survived, drove him to the hospital. Like, I'm just like, so sometimes you got to turn, it might seem like a bad situation, but then you see fate, it's actually a good thing that happened. I try to tell myself that once a week. It's a dub. Like, I just be like, nah. And so then we are introduced to Lemon and Tangerine. What did y'all think about these two characters?
The twins.
The twins. Yeah. They were a bloody good time. I enjoy seeing them. I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. Been following him since Kick-Ass. I loved him in there. Yeah. I'm proving why I'm the Diesel. And of course, you love Paperboy. You gotta love Paperboy with his character.
Yeah, I really like that character. It was interesting how well they bounced off of each other, where it was like, really, felt like brothers. And it wasn't, I think Brad Pitt was more of the comedic aspect of the film, a lot of things that was going on. But they had some moments as well, just their dynamic and, different scenes that we'll get into later on. But I really enjoyed them a lot. I think you talk about range,
them two. Yeah, they have it, but they a lot of their scenes were improv. Like a lot of stuff that they were doing was just improvisation. Because they said because of how they had to film this, which it was filmed during COVID, like in the heart of COVID, like before vaccination was a thing. All of this was filmed, and when it was getting filmed, it was hard to get stunt directors, which that's going to come back up eventually at some point, but they couldn't get stunt directors, so they had to film majority of their stunt coordinations within this movie, which even led to Aaron Taylor Johnson getting hospitalized. He got knocked out at one point. He had hospitalized in the middle of the film.
Was that when he was able to get back on the plane or the train? Nah, that was
what joke. Do you mean? Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, but the scene it was, I don't know, but he got knocked out because he was doing a keto diet to get in shape for the role, and he wasn't eating enough. Basically, Chris died. You know how I go.
Well, he has some good plot armor in this, but a little bit. It kind of ran out, but so we see that. So we see the father is on the train. He got his gun. He just carried it out in the open, and it's like it's not too many people on this train, but I'm just like, tuck your gun in a little bit. It's kids in here. And so he goes up to a chair that, because he has a note that says, I pushed your son. And it has a seat number that's on the train, which I would think if anybody who did harm to your family is not going to tell you, oh, this is where I'm at, so you can come kill me. But the father was upset. He had a good reason. And so it's a little girl in the chair. He's scared the shit out of her because like he got his gun on him. He points it at her. She looking all innocent. He's just like, oh, my bad. Wrong chair. Come to find out, she stuns him in the neck. Did y'all see when he fell on the chair, like how he fucked up the whole left side of his head when he landed on like the arm on the chair? I was just like, ooh. So he definitely got a headache. But the next shot we get,
the Prince.
You said
the Prince. That's Chris. That's Chris girl there.
Joey King.
The Prince.
What else was she? Because she was in a few other stuff, but I couldn't think of it when I was watching this.
She got a long list, and she's young. Like she's still young. She got
first thing I seen her on was the Kissing Booth. I actually watched that. There's 3 of them, but I've only seen the first 2.
Of all movies, that's what you. I was gonna say The Conjuring, but that's a good one.
She was one of the daughters.
She was she was the young one.
That's it. Do you got another one?
Oh, she's in this Hulu TV show where she has like cancer, but then she kills somebody, and they're trying to figure out why she would have killed the person. She's in this princess movie where she does like a lot of kung fu, pretty much same exact thing. She doesn't. My bad. Come on, you got it.
And she was in The Act, which is also, I believe, on Hulu.
I think
and she was in Crazy. And she was in Crazy Stupid Love.
Hopefully she's not nobody's Lick of Thrones.
I'm hoping it is. That's my job today, to blow up everybody in League of Thrones. I just want y'all to know that.
Really? We'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. So we got Lemon and Tangerine. They're having a conversation of their code names. What would y'all names be? Like, if you could think of something off the top of your head, what would your code name be if you were doing the type of work they were doing?
Jameson.
Okay.
Just to go with the whole fruit theme, mine would probably be Blackberry.
Okay.
Or The Mask, but you
know. Or Hulu. You can try that one.
Amazon. We got a whole bunch of names out here. We just some package handlers around here.
Hey, Jason, yours would definitely have the word pool in it. So, somebody listen to what the hell they talking about. But and we see that Lemon is a fan of Thomas the
Tank Engine.
Yeah.
And so we see a gentleman that's an aisle across from them wake up. Lemon and Tangerine go sit beside him, and they're discussing why he's on that train. And so we see that they are both doing a job, returning. He was he was a hostage. He was kidnapped, ransom, all of that. So they have the ransom money, and then they have the son of the individual they are working for. Mm-hmm. During this time, we see Ladybug walking through the train. Ladybug finds a suitcase, and he was just like, this can't be how easy this job is. And the handler is telling him, no, it's this easy. He gets a suitcase and leaves. Mind his business, nobody sees him. So then we get back to Lemon and Tangerine, and they're talking to the son, or excuse me, Percy. Percy is the individual that was sitting across from them. Don't ask
we know who he is. We know who he is, huh?
I mean, would you like to go into who his father is?
We know who he is at this point. Like, we just don't know who that is, but we know who he is, you know? Like, we know it's White Death. We know that. We just don't know who White Death is and how important he is until the story continues to until it becomes to unfold, because this is when they say he tells him how they can lose limbs if they don't return, like if we don't get everything that we need to have back to them. And they were saying, you know, we had to kill the 16 people. He was like, no, we had to kill 17.
And they went through the whole flashback.
Let's do the montage. And that was, I love how they did the scenes in this, which Jazz, this would be me admitting that I'm wrong about something. So this movie was an homage to Jackie Chan. Did you know that?
No.
All right, so the movie was based off of Jackie Chan, just his stunt coordination, his fighting, and different things. They wanted to make everything super fast, like fast hand motions, fast throwing, and just different stuff. Like we was talking about, we discussed, and the reason I say I was wrong, but more so I'm more so conceding because I'm gonna say I'm wrong. I'm gonna concede in this argument of saying who was a better stunt person in between Jackie Chan and Tom Cruise. Um,
Wait,
as far as with the
Chris,
yes,
let him
Chris,
finish.
Chris.
Let him
No,
finish.
it was
Let him finish.
a conversation. It was a conversation in our group chat we had. So I mean it's clear that Tom does some crazy stuff. Now with Jackie Chan did a lot of work in the early 80s and the 90s, and yes, he did mess his body up and stuff like that. And now Tom does a lot. The Tom does a lot of like mainstream stunt, like crazy stunts, like out there. But you, Chris, you know the Chris, you know, you understand why that would be an argument, bro.
no, I don't. But I'm gonna ask. I wasn't there, so I want us, and I want the viewers to know because I feel like this is a good little segue. So, I'm assuming Jazz was on the Jackie Chan side from what I hear because I know you love.
That was
Tom. Okay, so
I love Jackie. I mean, it was just I was like
your love like a wild right
now.
now.
Wait, but Jazz, it wasn't. But Jazz, I didn't say he is beating the crap out of Jackie Chan, like as far as with his stunt. I just said I may pick Tom as far as with the stuff. And I'm just looking at everything I know he's done from all different work. But like I said, when it comes with Jackie Chan was definitely a up close stunt person when it comes to it. So.
It's Jackie.
Which did y'all know the director David Leitch began as a stunt director? Did y'all know that?
Did not.
His first job was for Brad Pitt on Fight Club.
That's a good fact.
Yeah, he did Fight Club, he did Troy, and he also did Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
So and 3 Brad Pitt movies.
I mean, he did other ones, but that's where he began.
But no, I'm just saying like that connection.
They were so tight they did, but then in this movie, I think Brad Pitt did like they say he did like 94% of his stunts in this movie, which we just kind of said why he had to. But yeah, David Leitch. There's some more fun facts I'll drop throughout the episode, but you can continue, Jay.
That was good, Jason. Thank you. And thank you for admitting that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because that fun fact was very convenient out there. I was about to blow him up for that Jackie Chan tape.
There's no blowing up in that situation. There's no Jackie Chan ain't flew a plane nowhere. He hasn't drove he hasn't skydived out of anything via movie. He hasn't driven. He hasn't driven not a microphone, but a motorcycle. What am I trying to go for? He hasn't driven a motorcycle off of a cliff into a freaking a parachute. He hasn't done that, but he has jumped through some glass, broken some bones. He's done that.
So for everyone listening at home, this is Bullet Train we're reviewing.
We are reviewing Bullet Train, which was an homage to the great.
I'll let Jason get in that Tom Cruise bag.
I'm gonna let Jazz. I'm giving it back to Jazz. I was just saying, man. I gave it to Jazz, and I'm giving it back to Jazz.
I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you. And so as we have Lemon and Tangerine speaking, Tangerine looks at Lemon's like, "Where's the suitcase?" And Tangerine's like, Lemon's like, "Oh, I stashed it." He's like, "No, you need to go get that suitcase." And the suitcase we already know it's been gone. It's with Ladybug. So Lemon goes to where he put the suitcase, and he's just like looking through everything. And around the same time, Tangerine gets a call from the White Death's general
handler. We're gonna say handler.
Well, I don't want to mix the handlers up.
I got you. We know. Everybody has their own version of a handler.
Okay, basically. So White Death's handler calls, and it's so funny how Tangerine was talking to them on the phone the entire time. because he knows how dangerous they are, but he was just like, yo, stop fucking calling my phone. Like, let me do my job. I'm a professional. And I'm sitting here like, you talking to one of the biggest crime mobs of the world's handler like this?
The Yakuza.
I'm just like, so you just no filter? Oh, that's kind of wild. And then in his peripheral, he sees Lemon looking for the suitcase, just trying to find it. And then he gets worried. He goes to Lemon and he's just like, so what's up? And they just like, somebody took the suitcase. He's like, what? It's like, it's gone. What were y'all thoughts at this scene?
I feel like so. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
For me, it was just I was interested in the end game of everything because we obviously see all the different plays, and we kind of see that at some point it's how is this all going to interweave, because you have Ladybug looking for a package that supposedly they're trying to stash and give the package back to somebody. In the same breath, we have the kid who just got knocked, or the father who's been knocked out by this girl who's knocked the kid off of a building. Like, so it's just so at this point I'm like, y'all got me. So my antennas are raised. So now who are all these people, and how is this going to be interconnected in it? Chris, what about you?
Your antennas being raised reminded me of Money Mike. Where was your antennas when them niggas was robbing my place? Sorry.
No, that was another thing. Yeah, that was another thing. I was also trying to do, like, piece together, how each story is going to intertwine. And, the White Death was obviously going to be the main thing that brings everyone together. But one of my favorite things about this film is how we get to the destination, which we're on a train. So it's like, okay, we're trying to get to Kyoto, I believe was where we're going. So this whole train ride is like, okay, they're getting to Kyoto, but we're also piecing things together slowly but surely. And y'all know I love, twists and, things like that. So this movie really got me going. I was just looking forward, like, oh, what's this going to happen? Who's going to portray who? Like, I definitely thought Lemon and Tangerine was going to portray each other one way or the other. I thought that was going to happen eventually. I'm glad
I didn't see that coming.
That's just my jaded brain thinking off of my.
You've been what's going on? You good? Like you've been like 2023 been got you like on edge. You've been jaded for everything you watch here lately.
It's been 2 weeks, Jason. Don't try to.
This week 3.
Okay, week 3 episodes now. Week 2 since we even recorded.
You think it's gonna be better next week? Let me ask you that.
Well, what we got on the docket, I don't know. Can't really trust nobody next week either. So we're trying to see. Look, I see you in February.
February is definitely when we can trust people, because January, no trust there at all. But how did y'all feel about this recap that we got of the White Death? Seeing how the White Death got into position, seeing that White Death, I believe he was a Russian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then came and took, was like alongside one of the biggest bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just betrayed him. Like, how did y'all like these action scenes of like the different fights? Because we got a lot of fights in this movie, which I appreciated. So like, how did y'all feel about this scene of like the White Death betraying his at one point boss, and seeing like how all of that
basically.
Yeah. So one of my favorite movies of all time is Kill Bill, and there's a section in that film where it transitions to an animated, it's an animated portion of the film. So it's like anime. You guys know what anime is. And this movie, it's funny that Jazz mentioned it opened up with the anime scene on the TV in the hospital, because to me, this film is like an anime almost, in the sense where it's like it's out there, but it's also, the story is very engaging, which a lot of those type of shows do. So that whole scene right there was like straight out of an anime, like the fire, like all the death around everybody. And then you have, of course, the guy on his knee. And when the White Death comes up with the Russian roulette, and he's just like, and then I'm just like,
that's hard.
Like
that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. That was just like straight out of it.
Hard.
That was definitely one of my favorite parts of the movie, really. But just the whole movie felt like an anime, and that was just something I enjoyed.
It did. Funny you say that. Maria Beetle, one of the characters in the movie. There's a comic based. It's called Maria Beetle, about these assassins that get on a bullet train, and this is what this was adapted from. So that's why it's shot and it looks and feels a lot like anime when it comes to it. But I mean, Maria Beetle is the one that brought everybody together, but there's like 3 different books that lead or they get you to that. Which, fun fact also, like that scene when he does the Russian, like the roulette thing, doesn't it feel like a well, I don't know if you've seen it. You be kind of so secretive about stuff now. Jazz, did that kind of feel like John Wick when he pulled the did it? Am I tripping?
No, I was gonna wait till you finish your point to say, Chris, if you like these action scenes, you will love John Wick. Because like this is kind of similar to John Wick, but on a bullet train.
Reason being, David Leitch directed John Wick. And I'm gonna give that back to you because we got more fun facts later.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason is like a bottle of Snapple right now. Like Snapple.
Nah, I'm liking this. I'm liking these fun facts for sure.
Let's do it.
So we got Ladybug walking through the train, and Ladybug comes across somebody in like a big character costume, and it's the character from the commercial at the beginning of the movie, and they have a section on the train. Which would y'all like ride this type of train if it was like for a location that's like it's gonna take all night to get there? Would y'all want to be on this train minus the assassins?
I would just do it for the experience. Like when I mean, I've gone to New York and rode their train, so of course I would go to Tokyo and ride the bullet train. Why wouldn't I?
You know,
I'm just saying that's my point. If I would do it there, why wouldn't I do it in Japan?
Did you see this train compared to New York? No shade.
I would just
but
all the shade. That's why I said it. Like, why wouldn't I ride the one in Japan?
Because I'm like, if anybody's watching, you look at Jason's background, they got the LED lights and then the mirror at the ceiling. That shit is lit. I've never been on a train in New York and it had that. Like, what? That was a terrible comparison.
Yeah, I definitely would. Like Jason said, just for the experience and not this particular.
Right.
I ain't on the fight. I ain't trying to fight on it my first time, but yeah.
Can you imagine?
Boy, I'm out.
Can you imagine being on there? You wake up and you see 2 people fighting. You just sit there like, shit. Do I go to another train car? Like, do I just stay here? And it's just like so many obstacles, things that's going on. But so we have Ladybug comes across one of these really nice train cars, and it's one of the characters from the cartoon that we saw earlier in the beginning of the movie. The character tries to take the briefcase, and then Ladybug punches the character in the face, and he was able to get the briefcase back. I thought that was really strange, but I was just like, somebody's in there because you ain't grabbing a random case from nobody. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And so Ladybug is like, all right, so talk to the handler. I'm about to get off the train. Gets there. Soon as the train comes to a stop, we see the wolf. And the wolf immediately attacks Ladybug. And then we switch scenes. And I thought it was really creative how this movie jumped from scene to scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally, I guess when you have like an action sequence about to happen, you don't just jump to another scene real quick to finish off another story. But we jump to a scene of the prince and the father. He wakes up, he's no longer knocked out, and she's looking at him. What did she say to him? Did she say, is this when she revealed that she had been like following him this entire time? Or was that after she got the phone call? Jason, I know you know.
I believe that was after, because she pretty much told me, I pushed your son off the building. Here go a gun. You can shoot me, but wait before I get there. Let me answer this phone call before you do that. And she was, you might want to wait for real, like seriously. And then that's when she reveals she has his son under surveillance with the gun.
Right. And so she's like, you can go ahead and hold on to that gun. If I don't pick up when they call, they're going to kill your son. And which I'm thinking, this swole ass bodyguard looking dude hanging out outside of a kid's hospital room, that looked extremely suspicious, but we'll go back to that.
Yeah. And
so then we get Limited Tangerine trying to figure out who stole the briefcase. Let me see. Let me check my notes because that's what Jason be doing. So And I believe we get to the scene to where we find out that the father was working for the White Death, which is why the prince basically targeted him. So then we get back to Lemon and Tangerine looking for the briefcase, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. They go back to where they were sitting, and y'all see what happened to Percy.
R.I.P. to Percy.
Percy, blood coming out his eyes. And you know what's funny? Lemon's character said, first the wife, now the son. That's a lot of White Death. I was just like, Lemon had a lot of fire lines in this movie.
He did.
I love their connection, him and Tangerine. So then we go back to, well, before we get back to Ladybug, we get a flashback of the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what you think about the wolf?
Yo, shout out to Bad Bunny, because he didn't do that much acting, because he didn't really have. I don't think he even say anything. I don't even know if he had any lines, but
not too much.
A little bit.
Okay, a little bit, but a lot of it was like facial expressions and just like that sort of acting, which I appreciate a lot, because I feel like that really conveys your expression very deeply. And he did a good job here. And we saw his whole backstory about him falling in love and then everything that happened with that. But the funniest thing I noticed when we got the wolf, as soon as he saw Brad Pitt, it was just like rage. It was just like Brad Pitt even looking like, like he's just trying to get off this. He's just wondering what's going on, and he's just ready to stab him. And then we get, the whole montage. But one thing about this movie, and hopefully I'll speak it into existence, I feel like the way that they set up each individual character, it was good enough in a way where you could really get a movie based off the backstory of some of these guys. Like a Lemon and Tangerine movie would be fire, in my opinion. Just their dynamic, whole, feature film. The Wolf, I would be interested to seeing, a full movie about him. And even something maybe with the Prince, growing up. But something with the Prince, dealing with her, whatever she's up to eventually. But the Wolf
was Ladybug. You watch on Ladybug movie?
You did a Ladybug movie.
But wait, you would want a Wolf backstory, but not a Neymar backstory movie?
Oh, we going back to that? Oh, I mean, if you want to, we can. But
no,
yeah. Neymar. So what I said, Neymar is a good secondary character. So it's just like you got basketball, you got some people who could be the number one guy, like KD, LeBron. Those could be your best player. But then you got other people where they good, but they not going to win a championship just them. So you need a 1A, 1B. Like, so Neymar is a B. I feel like he needs an A. I feel the same way about Scarlet Witch, if that helps. I feel like she's a B.
But you would want to see a Wolf movie?
Yeah, this is a totally different franchise. So yeah, I would want to see a Wolf movie.
But it's just like based off that character. Did they show you enough to where you'd be like, oh, I would like to see a prequel film?
They did, in my opinion, because there's a lot. Well, we obviously know what his motivation was, trying to kill, Ladybug and get on the train. But as far as his life as an assassin, like, I feel like that would be something that could be interesting. And he could even tie in some of the other, background characters. Maybe, White Death could show up, or, just different things like that you could tie in. I think that would be potentially, as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, that would be cool to see. So stuff like that.
His backstory kind of reminded me of the movie Desperado with Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
And Salma Hayek.
I could say with Salma Hayek. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah. She
probably looked 2 years older than she did now.
They do Zorro together as well? Or was that Catherine?
No.
Okay, that was her? Okay.
No. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Catherine Zeta-Jones was in Zorro, but he did
okay.
Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He did with Salma Hayek and Johnny Depp.
That's the is that the Tarantino one?
Ooh.
What's the one with Salma Hayek?
Oh, that's Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
That's when her feet was in his mouth.
Because of course they were. But yeah, shout out to Wolf.
Yeah, but so during this entire flashback of everything that happened, because he was a full-on assassin, killing all these people, he finds love, and then when there's always a wedding, you just like, all right, his wife about to die. But it was actually everybody at the wedding died. And then we see when he's talking to his wife, one of the people passing around the drinks bumped into him, spilled some wine on his white suit jacket. So that's when he went to go clean it up. Comes back, everybody at his wedding is just blood in the eyes, spitting out blood, gory as shit. And then we see their death kind of reminds you of Percy's death, blood out the eyes. So it's just, I didn't like, right. So then it's like, as they were going through, I was just like, damn. So the killer's on this train? But the wolf finds out who killed his wife. And then, of course, following him or everybody at his wedding, getting him to the train at this point. I thought this scene was, why did he still have on that suit? I'm curious, what was the time frame of all of this happening? Because he still had on that white suit with the wine on his jacket stained.
I mean, everything was probably super, like, within that time frame.
So that same day. Let's say it was the same day.
Now that piece I couldn't say, but I mean, it had to be within the same time frame.
Because I'm like, you didn't take no shower? Did you just leave the body? Did you just leave the bodies at your wedding venue there?
Hey, man.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it was a whole bunch of deaths.
Wait, Jason. You just gonna be like, all right, so I'm a bounce.
Oh, everybody dead. They gonna blame me. I'm the only person who didn't die.
But you wouldn't be blamed unless they accuse you of poisoning all them. Yep, no.
I mean, you would definitely be a suspect. They would definitely.
I'd much rather eat some cake at Franklin than party than at the Bad Bunny party. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. Franklin, yeah, theirs look lit. Theirs definitely look lit. But so you got Ladybug and the wolf fighting, and they're having a conversation during this fight. Because like you said, Chris, he was just like, I don't even know you. Like, why are you trying to attack me? And he's just, you killed my wife. He got his ass beat though. And he got stabbed in his heart and broke his neck when he fell on the suitcase.
Yeah. But I mean, this is more of that luck or fate, whatever one you want to go in there. Because it's not like Brad intentionally tries to kill him. He tries to throw his knife at Brad. It ricochets off that case and it hits him in his chest.
So it was kind of like, did that remind you of Scream 3, Jason?
Oh, God.
Chris, relax. When they threw the knife at Dewey.
I know exactly what you talking about. That's why I reacted to that.
Yeah. A little bit.
See? That nostalgia. That's the effect Scream 3 has on all of us.
Yeah, it's different effects for each person, but
it's an effect, all right.
It's an effect. I like this fight scene. I liked a lot of Ladybug's fight scenes because it was just like, you never really felt like he was the more skilled fighter. Like, he's an assassin, so of course he knows what he's doing. But a lot of times it was, especially this one, it's like an accidental, like, oh, he missed, I got this. Like, he missed, it was just things like that. So I thought it was really funny. And then just the luck thing, you factored that into it. It was just a really entertaining. A lot of these scenes, my favorite one is coming up. We'll talk about it, but these fight scenes are really entertaining.
And he props him up like for the rest of the plane. I mean, for the rest of the ride. He props him up for the rest of the ride. And of course, another thing that comes back up is the knife that he gets killed with. He puts that away.
Yeah. It was a nice knife. I would have took it too.
We know you would have.
So yeah, saying you wouldn't. Y'all saying y'all wouldn't have taken it?
Not the one that come out of a person's heart. No, I'm not taking that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I collect knives.
Not out of people's bodies. I don't.
Okay. All right, but anyway, Ladybug did drop a nice bar. It was just like, let this be a lesson in toxicity of anger. I thought that was a nice little bar. He dropped a few of those, but he did clean up the scene, which y'all have cleaned the scene up.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, Jason, you talking about you would have cleaned that scene up, but you would have left all your guests at your wedding?
1 versus 200, maybe? Yes.
Oh, so you got like a body count, like, if it reaches at more than 7 people, I'm not cleaning it up.
Where am I at? I mean, I'm just saying, like, am I still at this job, like, working? Like, he's literally at work, working. And also, imagine you calling out of work, and this is what you got to come into. Like, imagine somebody calling out of work, and then you take they shift, and this is the shift you get on. Like, wait a minute. That's some bull.
That's always the case when you covering for somebody else. It's the worst day.
Yeah, this was just extreme. Like if he could go back.
This is extreme, but we know he hates Carver, so I mean it all works out, I guess.
He has his reasons, and then we see him cleaning up the body, and then we go to Tangerine and Lemon cleaning up Percy's body.
Yeah, I thought
They
that was
gave him some nice little shades. Maybe
had to
they
cover my
it,
eyes up.
it didn't. It still looks suspicious, but as we see, not a lot of people are walking around on this train.
Mm-mm.
So, Ladybug tries to get off the train again, but he can't because since Tangerine and Lemon are looking for whoever stole the suitcase, they're hanging out outside of where you get off on the train. And then it comes like Ladybug has a flashback of an interaction with Lemon. What y'all think of this?
So I like this scene. I think for me, the funniest part was before he saw Lemon, he saw the conductor, and the conductor was like he just made that thing. Like he get past here, and then he's talking to his handler on the phone. Well, he sees the gun, and he's just like, whoa. But he's talking to his handler on the phone, and she reminds him of his interaction with the wolf. So we see how that connection ties up, and it's just fate again because he ends up bumping into the wolf, and he has to go clean up, and he's not there, and everything is. So I thought it was very funny how everything is coming together. Like we talked about how things are going to intertwine, and we're going on this train ride, and as we go along, and each stop we make, we're getting more pieces of the interaction. But I thought that was just really funny, just seeing that part of the whole everything shaping up.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, did you have any thoughts?
No, I don't. No.
I body
He
that.
said everything.
Yeah, I body that.
He said everything. He said.
He took all the food off the plate.
Yeah.
So they pretty much looking for the case. They're looking for the case. And this one we have the first interaction between Prince and Tangerine. Tangerine asks her, has she seen the case? And she was like, well, no, but I did see a man with glasses who may have went that way with the case. And this is at the same exact time as he's texting Lemon. We find out Ladybug has sat down with. As Tangerine texting Lemon, Ladybug sat down with Lemon in the quiet car as they sit in here, and there was we see this slapping match that goes on here. Was this yours, Chris?
No, I was gonna say before that, I thought it was funny because Tangerine and Ladybug actually end up seeing each other. So I think he was in a closet or something, and it's just like when he got to the Prince, and she was like, I saw someone with glasses or whatever. It was like everything is registering, so it's like light bulbs constantly going off for each of these characters. Like, wait, I remember the wolf. For Ladybug and Tangerine's like, wait, I remember this guy, and the Prince, man, I hated her character, which she did a great job. But I hated her character because she was fooling literally everybody for majority of this film. And it's just kind of like she's the innocent girl. And we know that, she's not as innocent as she's coming across, but that was just completely crazy. But yeah, the quiet car scene we get to that. That was one of my favorite parts of this whole film.
I thought it was funny because when Ladybug sat at the table, Ladybug was like, do you remember me? And Lemon is like, you look like every white homeless man I've ever seen. She's like, no, I do not remember you. And so they're having their exchange, like you said, and you see the older woman, and she's just like, shh, stop or I'll call the conductor. So, it was just so funny and ironic of like all of the stuff that was actually happening on this train, but you still had random people spread out, not noticing anything. They were just drinking their drinks, sleep, like knocked all the way out. I thought that was funny. And then we get to the scene where you got the Prince and the father. They find the wolf's body, and she also finds the suitcase or the briefcase, which I don't know how she did it, but her luck is like her plot armor. Like she was
things were very
maneuvering. Yeah.
That combined with her innocent act was just
I appreciate that they called it out multiple times.
Yeah.
So and then I believe the father and the Prince go into a bathroom, and she's just like, I need you to go ahead and open this up. And she actually reveals her plan, And then, but before that, the father gets a phone call from the elder. And he's just like, where are you at? Why are you not at the hospital? And the princess in the background was just like, she said, be honest. And the elder hears that. And so the father's not trying to say too much. And that phone call ends, and she's just like, get in this briefcase. I'll be back.
Start with the lower numbers.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because he was like, it's gonna take me forever. I ain't asked you how long it's gonna take you.
Just do it.
Just get that open. Jason, was there something you wanted to add here?
No, not within this scene here. When he's going through trying to figure out the combinations, which, like I said, he did. I mean, of course, he did figure it out. He got the combination. She was like, "Yep, I'm going to put a bomb in here." So this will be one. If this baby doesn't work, where she pulls up the gun, and she was saying the White Death has had 31 attempts on his life. And anybody that's tried to kill him, he uses their weapon to kill them. So she has a gun that she's going to attempt to kill him with, and she's rigged it with the bomb in it. So if he was to use that gun, it would blow his head off. So yeah, with that one, it wasn't nothing too much on that.
It didn't take until like the second time I watched this to like, she knew a lot about the White Death for her, and I'm like, why didn't I suspect her to be closer? I was just like, did he kill your husband, sis, your family? I was trying to figure out like what her motive was, but she had a really good plan.
She did.
She did.
I mean, so I thought that was really funny. And then we get a cameo from Channing Tatum.
This guy.
Jason, why you make that face?
It's Channing Tatum. I mean,
he was on his way to go shoot Magic Mike. The finale
had to have been.
But
had to have been. Technically, he was actually filming that city with the movie Lost City with him and Sandra Bullock, but there's neither here nor there.
Oh, it's here. We just haven't gotten there yet. It's definitely here. I thought that was funny. Another thing I thought was funny was when you had Lemon and Ladybug. So they had their whole fight scene. We talked about, everything piecing together. And this scene was actually funny when he said, I have a gun, he was like trying to jog his memory, like, you shot me. And he's like, I shoot a lot of people. Like, you look like, every other homeless. This reminded me of Endgame when Thanos and Wanda, she's like, I have no idea who you are. Like, I've killed mad people. Who are you? So I just thought that was a little funny parallel that I thought about. But just this whole scene, I thought it was really well done because they're in the quiet car and they're just beating the crap out of each other. And they're trying to do so many different ways to not, disrupt the car. So I thought that was just it added a nice dynamic where I just feel like the way that they shot the fight choreography, Jason mentioned earlier with the connections, with Brad Pitt and what the director did in the past, and just the camera work and everything. It was one of my favorite parts of the whole film when I'm just watching it, especially the second time. I'm just going through. I was like, yeah, this is dope. So that was something I really appreciated how they did that.
Yeah. And he knocks Lemon out, and then he puts one of the things, the sleeping powder. He puts the sleeping powder inside of the Fiji water bottle for him to take. He said he had been working on the doses, and he just put all of it inside.
Yeah.
I was looking at this scene. I said, another thing that I don't watch for Pip-Boy got his ass beat. It's like, I need better for you. I need better for you.
It's 3, ain't it? Because then he get beat up in Eternals.
Damn. Yo.
He's doing my man dirty, huh?
Oh man, he got to get some wins immediately. But as we're going through, we see that Ladybug, he I'm gonna say he jammed one of the car doors, so nobody can get in. And then we see like a little cage open up and a snake comes out.
The boom snake.
Hell to the no. And this was a snake that was in the other commercial at the beginning of the movie. So I was just like, so y'all just a snake slithering around on the daggone plane or the train? I'm just like, what is happening?
Snakes on the train.
Ah.
Jason, no. I'm not gonna lie. Snakes on a plane is really entertaining.
Yeah,
Like,
They talked to the handler and they said, you know what, we need to make sure that you got everything you're supposed to have. We need you and your brother to step off the train with the son in the package,
right.
so we know.
To the
And yeah, so they try to. So he steps off by himself, and then Lemon is faking with the son at the window. He was like, "You can see him over there." Like, I told y'all, stop calling me, leave me alone. We good. And then I don't know. Like, did the glasses fall off his face?
they did at the end, but I don't think they saw it.
But I think
I think they
waving his hand like we can.
Because they say whenever you get out, you have like a minute within between times to get in and off the train. So they tried to time it long enough for him to get off BS and then jump back into the train, which they pull off, and then I think like in the midst of this, the prince she comes to spit on the dude's face.
Yeah, she spit on Percy's face, which she removed his shades, spit in his face, and then put his shades back on.
Just
like, I hate that I didn't suspect her on being like, I'm like, why she hate him so much? Like, what is
like
happening?
To spit on somebody, you gotta hate them. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand why she felt the need to remove the shades. Just
to make sure it got in his face and not the shade.
The whole face.
It's like, I'm gonna spit in your eye. That's bleeding out.
Like you said, so this one he was like figuring out that poison. The poison was at the party. This is Ladybug's character figuring out the poison. So he's in the bathroom trying. He's like, but like, why do I know this? Where do I remember this from? He started remembering everything, and he had a scene that Brad added to the movie himself. I don't know. He wanted the scene of the bidet, the bidet scene of the water shooting him in the face, and then him looking. I mean, it's a nice shot. Like if you shoot water in your face, no. But it's a nice shot the way he got it. He got the blow dryer. He's fixing his hair after the water that shot him in the face. Which y'all use a bidet? That seemed like that'd be a nice time.
I've never used one, and I don't know.
I used to build them a lot at Home Depot.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, but
I would.
Try it.
I would.
Jason, all right, got you. Jason's birthday coming up, so if anybody want to know what to get him, there you go.
Yeah, that rusty trombone. I think that's what they call it, right? No, okay.
I don't know.
What just happened?
Don't look that up, please.
Okay.
Don't look that up. Don't look that up. So, like I said, we see Tangerine pulled up Teddy Bear, busted the door open. He's gotten into it. Now he's pretty much cornered. Ladybug, and they're beginning to tussle. And the train car lady, she walks in, asks them if they want to purchase anything. What did y'all think about this scene here?
Man,
would y'all have bought the water?
So I thought about this when I was rewatching it earlier. Yes, because you're trying to get her out of there as quick as possible. Like, you got a mission, and if you don't get this mission, you dying. I'm like, yeah, just get out. I'll pay for the water. And I like how Brad Ladybug used that to his advantage. Though he was very smart. So I love how he used that to his advantage. But yeah, if I'm telling you, I was just like, whatever I can do to just get you out of here.
Jason, you paying for the water?
I don't know. I mean, if I didn't know when it was gonna happen, there should have been like a scene of like a consequence, like if you don't pay for something, like what they would have done to that person. Because what if he wouldn't have paid for it? Then how would they would have played out? And it would have been dope to see him seeing that happen and be like, please, man, I need you to do this for me.
Like a alternate like flashback or like flat. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Did y'all notice this is Kamiko?
Yeah, I did. Because she was on Suicide Squad.
Yep.
The bad one.
That's her name. And so no,
the
she's
boys.
Not. Yes, the boys.
Yeah, the boys. Yeah, she was on Suicide. The bad Suicide Squad.
And it's another one of them scenes that made me think about like a Jackie Chan scene when after she leaves out, he just throws the water bottle right up against his head.
And that's why I say he's smart, because he was like, I want water. He's like, no, actually, give me the one with the bubbles, the sparkler, because he thought it was a glass bottle. So he's just like, he already knew what he was gonna do. So I thought, I was like, yeah, Ladybug's smart.
Yeah,
he pressed it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, snap. His name is Ladybug. No, don't Ladybugs have to do with luck?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the. I mean,
That's
it comes back up when the elder comes around. But I'm glad you picked that up like halfway through the
I'm
movie.
thinking, and I'm just like, oh,
Two watches, three conversations, and then the ladybug
no,
comes
I
up.
get it. Because the rest of the
That's
names,
dope.
like we'll get to the other assassins that's about to come up, but those are just like obvious. The ladybug, yeah.
All right, so that
Light
was
bulb,
funnier than my Wednesday one last week. So that was really good.
light bulb.
But so you have their fight, and they pretty much come to a draw. And so Tangerine is just like, do you even have the case? Like, it's just, we're just gonna die. Because Tangerine's already is just like, look, we're dealing with the White Death. His guys are at the next stop. Like, they're gonna try to kill us. Yeah. And then shout out to Ladybug for having the ideas. Like, because they was just like, they want to see both of us. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, do they know what Lemon look like? And then it just goes to the scene where like both of them are outside the train at the next stop. Yeah. And they're just like, here's the case. The son is on the train, like doing this whole charade. Yeah. Here go Ladybug being extra as hell. He's the friends that they say scare off the hose. It's just like, like what? Like, what are you doing? Did you catch that he changed his accent and everything while he was talking out loud before the briefcase opened, and it's nothing but lingerie and I believe sex toys.
Yeah, it was dildos and stuff.
And then they just ran back on the train because the train was definitely about to leave. And it's just like looking at Tangerine's reaction. He's just like, dude, like, what are you doing? You didn't need to do that. He's just like, well, I was trying to sell it. And it was just like, sell them lingerie and dildos. Yeah. But I thought that scene was so funny because I was just like, he's like, this luck thing. And I'm like, okay, so if you have a whole issue with your luck and everything happening, why would you even try to do anything extra?
He trying to twist his luck. It's just funny because he just flung the combination in a point.
But bad luck was like, oh, let me open it to where it's the right combination. Yeah, I thought that was wild. And then we get back to Lemon searching, trying to find glasses, which is Ladybug. And Lemon comes across the prince and the father. He's just like, excuse me, because they're having an interaction. He's just like, excuse me, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on over here, but have y'all seen anybody with, I forgot exactly what he asked her, but what, Jason?
Nah, he asked, I
think you continue.
Oh, okay. And so I don't remember exactly what he asked her, but she somewhat filled in terminology that made her look suspicious. Yeah. This interaction, I absolutely loved. Yeah. I love Lemon's character. I love Paperboy. Like, he did great in this. What did y'all think about this scene of when he pulled out the gun, seeing the reaction of the prince and the father and the white girl tears?
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was the first thing I thought of. Because it was the same situation. She was just like, what did he say? He said, have you seen the suitcase or something to that effect? And Lemon turned around and said, I never said anything about.
Right.
I was just like, same thing happened with Wanda and Doctor Strange. So I thought that was really funny. But what did he say too? He said, what did he say? I'm used to white girl tears or something like that.
He said, I get captivated by white girl tears.
Yeah. So I thought that was really funny too. He could just see through the facade.
Right. And he's just like, we're going to play a game. Like, I'm trying to figure out which one of y'all is the diesel because I know it's a diesel. Because
who's the diesel and who's the duck?
Right. Because when he had his interaction with Ladybug earlier, he told Tangerine, he's like, I don't think it's glasses. He's like, it's another diesel on this train. Mm-hmm. Tangerine wasn't trying to hear it. And so he was just getting the energy and vibes of like, one of y'all is the diesel. So which one is it? She crying. And then he said, I'm not going to be able to kill both of y'all because I need answers. I need information. I can't get that if y'all dead. So he was like, both of y'all close your eyes and point at who's the one in charge. And when I saw this scene, I didn't really think he was going to shoot either one of them.
I thought it was a dream.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was a dream. But like, because when it happened, they both close their eyes and it goes into him thinking about his son and whatnot, but you
Oh,
hear the
okay.
shot, and then you hear the shot go off, and you like, because you know what it made me think of? It was Friday. In Friday when Craig pulled the gun on Debo,
Okay.
and he told him don't pull the gun, and it shoots. You hear the gunshot, but then it goes back to him thinking about his dad. You like, man, he shot this dude, and now he thinking
Right.
about everything he should have did to not, and it goes back to where he didn't shoot him. But this time, that's not how it works. He definitely shot him, and you just like, bro, what?
Especially
But it was just okay. It was after he was it before or after he figured. Well, I guess it was before that. Because he hadn't shot him yet about the tears and whatnot. So he figured out.
Right.
My mind put it after he shot him. When he figured it out, but it was before he knew that one of them was somebody that shouldn't be doing something. But
right. But that's a really good connection that you made there. I didn't even think about that. That's dope. And so the father gets shot in the side, and it's funny because you see Lemon and the prince drag his body in the bathroom. And so he had been drinking the water.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting to see the effect of that sleeping powder kick into his system. And she's just like, oh, I can go ahead and I figure out a way to lock this door, which would have been real suspicious because I'm like, how you know about to try to jam doors? Like, how many times you be getting snatched up by people? Like, what you into, sis? And so he looks in her bag and she's got a gun in there. And so she starts crying again. She's just like, no, he gave me that. He wanted me to use that. And he just like, you not making no sense. And then she just turns it off.
Which is freaking scary.
Like she turned it off because when she realized something was going on with him, because obviously the sleeping powder is kicking into his system. And the way that she just turned it off, I said, wow. And I can't remember what movie reminds me of that when somebody was being
Scream 5.
That bitch Amber.
Get Out as well. That happened.
That bitch, yeah. You know what? Common, never mind. But
hey man, I look.
That's what Karen stems from something, and that's where it comes from.
And you seen that? Y'all seen that TikTok when they was doing that? Yeah. Do y'all remember that trend?
I do, and that was very scary. Yeah. But
just being able to the way they're able to
so
go from one emotion to another, and like you said, Lemon faints, and then she shoots Lemon a few times.
She didn't have to shoot him. Well,
I mean, she did.
Yeah, he had
he had to die. But before this happens, did y'all notice him put the sticker on her back?
I didn't until my rewatch, or obviously after the end of the movie. But
yeah, he put the sticker on her back before they actually was passing out, before he as they were tussling a little bit, he put that on her. So that was another nice little tidbit that they have on there.
Yeah, I did notice something else, but it hasn't come up yet. I'll get to that as long as we don't get to that point.
But we have the conversation between Ladybug and Tangerine. Ladybug is just like, I'm just trying to get off the train. Like, you can stay here, do your thing. They're having interaction and they're at a stop. Tangerine's back is to the outside of the door. And so Ladybug is just like, well, fate, all this other stuff, timing, kicks Tangerine off the train. Y'all, plot armor, stupid thick.
Super strong.
Running after a bullet train, jumping on the bullet train, able to stay on it to break back into the bullet train. Oof. But I mean, hey, what y'all think about this scene? Like, him actually holding on? Because how far, like, Jason, you're good with speed. How fast is a bullet train go? I mean, you asked us how many.
I don't know how. I'm not sure how fast the bullet train goes. I couldn't answer that one for you.
Bullet train, 186 miles per hour.
So somebody could just like stand on that, like try to.
Yeah, and they can go 200 miles per hour. So.
He would have been the way he was. So when he was on the back of it, he should have been sliding because I don't even know. He was putting his head down a little bit and he was beating on the glass. And I'm like, man, hold on. And it's a lot harder to crack inside of a place as opposed to go out of it. So yeah, that was kind of crazy how that was in there. But
I'm not gonna ask you how you know that.
Oh, because I got mad one day and I broke my windshield from the inside. Yep.
Okay. But we get, as Ladybug is on the phone with the, I'm not gonna go into it. Ladybug is on the phone.
Safe light replays. Dang, Jason.
Ladybug. Chris, I'm trying to pivot.
My bad.
Ladybug.
You thought Stone Cold was around? Oh man, nah, my bad.
But all right, so Ladybug finds out that from the handler that the Hornet could possibly be on the train. So Ladybug goes back to the wolf's body because the wolf mentioned as the wolf was getting choked out by Ladybug, it's a 2-for-1. So obviously, the wolf knew 2 people that he needed to kill was on this train. Mm-hmm. One of them was Ladybug, and the other one we come to find out is the Hornet. So he's checking the wolf's suit. He finds the envelope. And did he open up the envelope? Because we don't find out.
He did.
And so he opens it up.
But don't we get a history of the Hornet, or do we?
So we get a flashback of the Hornet poisoning
at the wedding,
right? Poisoning the cake, and what happens is we see she's in the anime outfit, the anime character, and she actually hits Kimiko and knocks her out for no reason. That was like mad rude, but whatever. And then she just
needed her outfit.
That was still mad rude. Like you could have just asked, like get a gun or something. Like you could have threatened her, but then she takes it off, and we see Zazie Beetz, who's who actually plays the Hornet, and that's when Brad Pitt opens the envelope, and he I guess from all the fighting, his
he couldn't see.
Yeah,
he wears glasses.
Okay, but
this isn't a chorus situation, but he wears glasses because he couldn't see.
Yeah. So that was a big thing, but it was just funny the way it worked because he was just like, and then he sees the second picture. And you go to the side and you're like, oh, she's right there. So it's just like another string of bad luck happens again.
But that's actually, you know what? I'm just catching that. That's actually dope. Like they paid that much attention to detail. Yeah. Like that's how a lot of old people like they be.
Yeah, they do. They be looking at, they're trying to read something. I need my glasses.
All right, so I just want to let y'all know.
These funny.
No, I don't, because y'all talking about old people, and I'm like, yo, everybody doesn't have great vision. Shout out to my people that wear glasses and contacts, yo. Like,
it was mid-sentence, and I looked over at Jackson like, oh wait.
I'm just sitting here like
chill out with the vision jokes, man.
Right. Shout out to the people that can't see fully, that wear glasses and contacts. My co-host mad rude.
I mean, for the people who can't see, that's why we got the audio. I was just playing. Go
ahead. Yo, Chris, that was crazy.
Please subscribe. Please like. Just use the glasses and like. It's just there. It's right underneath. That's crazy. Why y'all let me do that? Crazy.
But then we have another fight with Ladybug. Ladybug has been fighting everybody on this train.
Everybody.
Like everybody. But I really thought this fight was funny because she obviously has the poison. She get it in him, like he's gone. And so we also find out that was her snake that is still on the loose on the train somewhere, which is crazy. But I thought this fight was funny because she just keeps saying, yeah, bitch. Come on, bitch. I'm like, she just dropped it so many times. And she's just like, I need that case to get my money. And then during their entire fight, we see she stabs him with the syringe and he stabs her. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're looking at each other. He's waiting on her to make a move because he knows that she has an antidote. She's looking at him like, maybe I can last longer than him. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all so fucking stupid. I'm just like,
I mean, he has nothing. He has nothing. He's not about nothing happening to him. So but he just knows whenever what she's gonna do is save herself and then try me again. So let me just sit here and make sure she doesn't do that.
It's basically a game of chicken. That's what he was doing.
right. No, I get that.
It was just hilarious.
But if it was, I'm sorry, if I got a poisonous substance going through my, I'm just gonna run out to another car and then pull out my antidote. That's what Jazz would do. I would literally, like, how y'all handling that situation? Both of y'all are poisoned. The antidote is on you. So,
I mean, look,
I would have it out ASAP. Oh my!
Like something happening. But look, either one of us down or we both down, and I ain't gonna be the one that die. So we gotta figure something out.
Yeah.
her death was crazy. Like, it seemed like it lasted so long.
Yeah.
And it was so graphic.
Yeah. When I first saw this movie, I felt the way because we just had Lemon get killed, and then Zazie Beetz got killed like a few minutes later. I'm like, I had to look up the director, but make sure
it's kind of like the director is not a fan of Atlanta. Did you get those vibes?
Exactly.
Or black people.
That too. And then Brad was like, he said, you only got one? He said, why wouldn't you have more? You should have prepared yourself better. He was like, wait, I'm mansplaining. I can't do that.
You love a woke king, right?
When he asked her, it's like, you don't have more. She was like, what you think, bitch? And I was just like,
that's a horrible way to die, because you can see like the effects of like where she was going, but karma, she done killed like 200 people or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, at the wedding. Like, I mean, so would you say like she got Joffrey?
It was Joffrey's was a little bit worse in my opinion, but his was more satisfying. So she definitely got Joffrey.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's different time
because she just be killing people. Like she killed the what she do? She killed the doctor, and they were supposed to be saving the White Death's wife. Like, come on, she just be knocking people off. But I guess they're just in this whatever this universe is, where they get paid to do all these weird odd jobs. So
yeah. And so we cut to Tangerine's walking around on the train, and he sees a trail of blood. And he looked down, he's like, what is this? And the trail of blood leads to the bathroom where the father and Lemon is. I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
I hope he killed a prince. I was just like, she gotta go. So he takes off his necklace and he puts it on Lemon's body. I felt so sad.
That was a nice little scene. That was a nice little scene. I believe since we hear like this is what got him this the role of Craven, this movie. Just the stuff that he was doing in here. So he definitely have a lot of it. But I feel like he's always had a lot of range, like in this different stuff that he does. So it was dope to see him show the sensitive side here when he, see his brother has passed away. Then you see like the action, and then just him being the comical, just a lot of range of emotions that he had to portray in here. And him and Lemon had the most speaking parts, and majority of it was improvised. So it was just dope how they was doing it.
He stayed getting shot. But I'll bring that back up. And so Ladybug cleans up the Hornet's body. He puts her body right across from the wolf's. And so we have Tangerine runs into the prince. And he's just like, I vaguely remember you, but not really. And then she just goes to her whole innocent little girl in danger pitch. And he was just like, yeah, I don't fucking know you. I don't care about none of that. And he's just like, you're free. And so she walks past him and he looks behind her, and that's when he sees the sticker of the diesel. And so he takes it off, and he was just looking at it, and he was just able to realize like she's the one who killed Lemon. He put the diesel sticker on her. And so of course, fate and luck, before he's even able to shoot this heifer, because she needs a bullet to the head, here comes Ladybug fighting Tangerine for the gun, and then Tangerine gets a bullet in the neck. R.I.P. Tangerine. And the last things that he was trying to say was, Diesel.
Yeah.
And then Ladybug even said that. Diesel, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm just like, you don't remember the entire conversation you had with the black dude 45 minutes later about diesels? Like, that bitch is a diesel.
It's just funny because to be fair, Ladybug has gone through a lot. He's been he's gone through a lot since that conversation with Lemon. So we could shoot him a little bit of bail.
Jason, I don't, go ahead, Chris. I don't know.
No, I was gonna say
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny because that's Tangerine's weakness because he's so quick to react as opposed to listening to what's going on. So instead of he just reacted too quick and it ended up costing him his life. But we still not there yet. My favorite detail of the movie is coming.
Yeah, I don't know. He should have been able to speak it, but I mean at the same time, you don't know what the Diesel would have done or how she would have reacted, especially if she shot your brother. So within that, it should have been a thing of us being able to speak over, whatever was going on. But unfortunately, like I said, he dies because he gets shot in the neck, and then this is where the Prince, she comes back into play, and she's just pretty much playing. She's playing her game of chess throughout the entire thing. She's playing a game of chess, so she plays Ladybug. So they're trying to stay on. Well, she's trying to keep them to stay on the actual play, and he's like, "I'm out of here, bro. Ain't nothing else to do out here. We got to get off of here." He's trying to sneak off. Oh, he's not sneak off. He's trying to leave the train.
Right. And
then she's like, "No, but I can't leave it out my bag. I can't leave it out my bag. Like it's something." I'm like, bro, I would have been like, man, nah, she gotta stay. But him being the person that he is, he's trying to help her out. What you would say, Jay?
I would have left her on that train. What would y'all have done?
Yeah, in hindsight, I mean, with the knowledge I have, I would have left her. But in his situation, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, would have. What?
What would you have done?
What would you have done?
If I would have left her. I would love her. What are we talking about? I'm leaving her. Ain't nothing. There's nothing else to be talked about.
Like, I ain't come on this train with this girl.
Every man went, man, woman, and child for themselves. In this scene, and when this is happening, they sitting there, and as they're talking, you see the elder. He walks up in the train car. And I believe she says something about be honest or something to the effect. She says that he hears it and he sits down. As he's sitting down, the boom slang comes and it bites. It comes and bites Ladybug as he's sitting there and he's running around with the snake in his hand. He's just like, oh my god. But he takes to the room. He puts it inside of a toilet. And he writes snake in, do not open. Like, bro, what?
He's letting you know, don't open this. Go to another toilet because there's a snake in this one.
That's just so funny. Like, he's the nicest assassin probably that I've ever seen. Because he's just
I don't think he really assassin though. He's more of a snatch and grab, like you said though. He just go in and grab something and get out.
He definitely assassin now. He done killed.
But to be fair, that's self-defense because they was trying to kill him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I like the callback to the be honest line because again, we're still moving on. I use the train example. The further we go, the more the story starts fitting together, and then we see this section. And I think the bidet was used again actually when he was using the snake. Didn't it, water squirted up? So I don't know.
Yeah, when he was trying to put the snake in there.
He was trying to put him inside of it. Yeah. And then what was it? So the elder pretty much he reveals he knows who the prince is. He asks, what's going on, what's happening with what's like, who are you? What was your point? Like what are you doing? Like, and then she reveals her plan, and he kind of knows what's going on, and pretty much everything is, like I said, it comes back to the whole movie basically is about fate and just how things line up and how they put you back in the path of certain things, and nothing is by chance. And then she runs away, just runs away looking crazy. I mean, she's gonna take care of it herself. And then Ladybug comes back, in the room. He just like, man, I'm tired. Oh my God. He just lays down. And then the guy was like, I know you're a good person. Let me tell you a story. And Brad like, no, I don't. And this was improvised as well.
I mean, it was
This
funny because you look at the exchange. He was like, "I just want to tell you a story."
it was. I mean, the whole thing was
I
improvised.
wanted
So.
you to be Brad, Jason, so we can
Oh,
do the
my
back and
bad.
forth.
So, but
So,
I'm
Brad was like, so the elder was like, "I want to tell you a story," and
no,
Brad said, "But it's a
no.
little story."
I'm cool.
I
I
think
don't
it's a
want
good story
any.
that you would
I
appreciate.
no, no.
So
It's
I'm
okay.
still gonna tell you. So by the way, like
Yeah, now the director had to push him to keep doing it because Brad kept telling him no, and I'm not telling you. So like he had to push him to make him to tell that story. But the story, we get the I guess the full scope of what was going on, which he was also under this general in Tokyo, real good dude, and he seen White Death was coming up in the ranks. And he told them, hey, don't trust him because we don't know. Well, he seems like a super wild card, and of course, everything he was saying it came to fruition. He came up, he killed the White Death, but he also killed his family, or he tried to kill his family. The son survived, but the wife was killed. So his thing was his entire life. He's been trying to figure out how to get back to the White Death to make this happen, and he got basically was put in line on this train just like everybody else to face what he's been looking out for his entire life.
which is crazy. Because then him and Ladybug talk. The prince done ran away like a little bitch, and so they go to the bathroom where the father and Lemon are. The father's still alive. Shout out to him. He just got a bullet in the gut. And then Lemon wakes up, yawning, had the best sleep of his life. And it's funny because you see that he has on a bulletproof vest. Because earlier in the movie, he said a bulletproof vest is like a safe, or no, he said it's like a fake shield to make you feel like you're safe. Because basically, if you have a bulletproof vest on, chances are you're going to end up getting shot in the neck to where the bulletproof vest ain't gonna do nothing for you anyway. But in this case, the bulletproof vest helped him. It saved his life. And then as he was looking at the vest, he saw that he had his brother's necklace on.
Yeah.
And then you get that really tough scene of him seeing Tangerine's body, trying to wrap his head around like his brother, his twin that he grew up with. And we get a flashback since they were really young. So even though they're different races, didn't grow up together, not blood brothers, like they grew up together. So
they're still brothers.
They definitely still brothers. Yeah. So I thought that scene was pretty good. What y'all think?
That was my favorite detail of the movie because, like, even when he said earlier with being shot in the neck, that's actually what ended up happening to Tangerine. But if you notice at the beginning, Tangerine had when he dressed up, he had a suit. He was buttoned up with a tie, but then later on, once he sees Lemon, when he was knocked out, he actually gave Lemon his vest. So that's why I
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either. And then I rewatched it the second time, and then I looked on Reddit. So and they was just like, yeah, that's what happened. So I was just like, wow.
Because he put his vest on him.
He had his vest on him because when Lemon made that statement earlier about you getting shot in the neck, you had that false sense of security. That's what happened to Tangerine, which is the irony. But then with this situation, he was distraught because he thought he had the protection of when he saw he got shot in the chest. He thought he had the protection of the vest, but the powder stopped his heart. So he thought it just didn't work. So he thought it was a false sense of security, that situation. So that was my favorite detail. I'm not going to take credit for seeing that, but I did notice like when they talked about the shot in the neck part, and that's ironic because that ended up what happened to Tangerine.
Damn.
Gotcha.
Jason, that wasn't in your notes?
I missed that. I definitely missed it.
I mean, they be smart on Reddit, so it ain't.
Yeah, they be getting it, man. I be trying to scan through it. I be looking, I be looking there now and again. I mean, but we get to Act 3. We get to Act 3. We get to the finale. We at the Kyoto station. White Death walks onto the train. We find out this is the prince's daughter. I mean, the prince's father. She starts speaking in Russian, and she, pretty much has been wanting to be seen. And he says, "I see you. I just ain't. I don't need you. You're not what I'm looking for right now. Like that's not what I'm looking for." And she tried to bait him into killing her. And he takes the gun. He like pretends to kill her. Pretends to shoot her. Pow pow pow. And then she runs off upset. And he just like, yeah, let me keep on moving. And we have this super meta scene where the henchmen are outside. They were like, why do we gotta be the one to open the case up? Like what if it's a bomb? What if it blows up? These masks ain't gonna save us.
When I saw that scene, I immediately thought, if y'all did this, I was just like, I could definitely see you and Chris doing that scene. It's like, why are we out here about to open up this damn case? It's just like, I want my hands. It's just like, but what if we just blow up? It's like, that ain't gonna happen. I'm just like, I could definitely see Chris and Jason.
I wouldn't have opened that case.
But then your hands would have got cut off.
Cool. Better than my whole body being blown up.
Wait, Chris, would you have tried to open it?
I mean, I didn't know it was rigged, so they was just suspicious.
Chris would have.
I would have felt it was rigged. So like, I'm just considering everything that's happened prior to. I'm like, nah, this ain't right. Everything I don't know how privy they were to everything in before that, but like, I wouldn't have. Heck no. That wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have done that at all.
But this scene, I think, with the Prince and White Death, to me, it was just like she was making it a little obvious, and I don't know if White Death saw through that because she was pressed to be like, "Just kill me, just do it," and it was almost to the point where maybe he could sense that she wanted him to do it, and he decided not to do it at that point. I don't know how much of that was arrogance of him not killing his daughter, which we see he doesn't care, but I just feel like she was, she put a little bit too much sauce on it.
Right, yeah. Too much dip on a chip.
Yeah,
that ain't on facts. And this right here kind of I mean, everything. I almost feel like we go back into a Marvel type of conversation, but this definitely was like timekeeper, right? Like, because it goes to what the movie is truly about. Like I said, I said it was about fate, but it's about him trying to control fate or control time, control situations. Because when the situation wasn't in his control, he lost his wife, right? So we find out his whole plan, or the reason he set this up, was there was a job in Bolivia that he had to go and handle. This job was because of the twins. The twins were on this job. They killed a lot of people, so he had to go out to this job to get that situation under control. While he's there, of course, his wife, the wife is pressed to leave because the son is in jail, and she has to go. She has to go figure out what's going on. And on the way there to get the son out of jail, she's hit by a car. She gets hit by a car, and she's almost killed in this car wreck, which I'm looking like, bro, these cars blew up. Like, why isn't she dead? But whatever, it is what it is. She almost dies. She almost dies in this car wreck, which we find out the person behind this was Carver. Carver is the one, and we find out who the crazy cameo here was, which was Ryan Reynolds, which was a fun fact. Another fun fact.
I know this one. I know this one.
You know this one. Do you know it, Jazz?
Nope. I'm about to though.
Okay. Look at you, face ass. All right, so so David Leitch, he directed Deadpool 2. So that was the second. That was his second. To come out with the first movie was John Wick. That was his first directorial debut. His second movie was Deadpool 2 as his directorial, his second movie. And in this movie, he, if you didn't know, one of the villains that gets killed in the big montage of heroes being killed was Brad Pitt. Did you know that? Brad Pitt is in Deadpool 2.
It's a cameo.
It's like the shortest, like a real short cameo.
Yeah. Have you seen Deadpool 2, Jess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was a cameo.
That's one of the funniest things I've seen in like a long time, though.
Because it's so random. Why is Brad Pitt like? It's just funny. Yeah, I like that.
So it's because it was just a favor for David Leitch because of how the relationship that they had, which I think he was also in Lost City too, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yes,
think
he
Brad
was.
Pitt's in there too for like a little brief moment because of just
Yes.
his relationship. You saying that?
Lost City.
I'm
No,
talking
he's
about
in the
Jazz.
trailer.
Oh, okay,
And
got
because
you.
his friendship with Sandra Bullock.
Okay, got you.
Channing Tatum
And
in the movie.
She's in this, yeah.
she's the love. I mean, it's
No,
about
no,
her.
Channing Tatum, not Sandra
Oh,
Bullock.
Chan. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Chan.
is.
Yes, yeah. That's why I said. I mean, that's why I
Look, the
said
phone
he was.
slid.
That's why I said the filming was for him. But you got it. You cool. He was filming this while he was filming that, but you got it. What I was going to was the trade off was Ryan Reynolds was in this movie for 2 seconds to pay back for Brad Pitt being in Deadpool 2 for those 2 seconds. It was just like but he was filming that Netflix movie, so he was actually on the scene of that when he was filming this movie.
The Adam Project?
The Adam Project, yes.
Which is also really good.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, he was filming this in the midst of that. But back to the regular scheduled programming. So the wife gets in the car wreck. She can get saved by the best surgeon, but unfortunately, the best surgeon had been doused by the Hornet, the Hornet that killed him for whatever reason. So the wife, she passes away. So in all this, he's put everything in control to go ahead and knock off all the people that have caused him hell in his life. And he's been going through, I think he said he'd been wearing the same clothes since his wife died too. Since we were talking about what people had on and wearing, he had been having the same exact thing on the entire time since she had passed out, which I mean, I can understand, that trauma of that situation. What should I say, Jay? He said him. I think he says it.
That he hasn't changed his clothes since she died?
Yeah.
Gonna calculate how many showers he gets.
I mean, wait. I don't, because his wife was dead for at least a month, right?
But we don't know that part. I don't know how long she's been dead, but everybody knows she's dead. So, so they sit there and like this is where it really goes to. Just imagine somebody calls out of work and you come into work for them, and then like what if you like Jazz? What if you was at work?
So
and the person and the girl that you work for, she got dreads, she's black, she got beef with this chick, right? And the chick pull up and like I'm look Jazz at the job, and she just come up and just start swinging on you like, wait a minute, it's not even me.
Right, I'm be like, you don't know who you're trying to fight? Like, what is happening right now? We don't all look alike. I would definitely pull one of those cards, but he's just like, no, this is not Carver. Like, I'm just in for him. This is somebody completely different. But I mean, White Death wasn't trying to hear that, and it was too late in the game for it to be anything else. So, like, all hell broke loose on this train.
It did.
As soon as Paperboy / Lemon was able to get the train going again, you got the Elder fighting people. He's killing henchmen. You got henchmen on the outside of the train trying to get in the train, but we realize even if a bullet train is going, you said 150 miles per hour, people can still hang on. Even more, people can still hang on and get in the train. So, like, how did y'all feel about this whole chaos?
So before we even get there, the chaos is where the bomb blows up, and for some reason, luckily, you're talking about plot armor. Ladybug got the plot armor, which because because the bomb blows up across the room and it knocks him inside the train just perfectly.
Yeah, you didn't know bombs did that? That you could just.
I've never been in an explosive situation. How about you?
You're
Chad?
missing out, Jason. It just blows you from one room to the other side.
Yeah, you been that close to a bomb before?
Yo, hey, all my pieces is intact. All my pieces is intact.
Oh, man.
You didn't know they blow you back? No, I didn't know that actually. I mean, I know guns have recoil, but I ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the bomb squad, Jazz. I don't know what you be doing with your life. I told you, you just. I don't know what life you lead, but you lead an interesting one. Oh, I don't know if you were stunt double. I don't,
Yeah, not a stunt double.
Jazz obviously a stunt double. We didn't know about Chris. I don't know. But yeah, but
I seen the movie The Hurt Locker
with Jamie Foxx and Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, not even close. No.
Wait, you said The Hurt Locker?
Yeah.
That's definitely what I thought.
That's Hawkeye.
No, Jason, that's
Hawkeye's The Hurt Locker.
Wait, what was the movie with Jamie Foxx and Jake Gyllenhaal where they got like he got his hand blown off and he's like waving with no fingers? It's a war movie. It's not a war movie.
It deals with war. Yeah, it's a war movie because he's a bomb. He's part of the bomb squad, but he's like the best there is. It's Hawkeye.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, okay. I'm gonna figure that movie out that they were in together. But
Anthony Mackie, Black Falcon.
Yeah, we know who he is.
We do.
so all like you said, Chris, like Zach said.
My bad, Jason.
So all hell breaks loose, like Jazz said on the plane. Everybody's fighting every which way. Who is this? Ladybug and Lemon have tried to finally coexist in here, but of course, Ladybug is looking for an apology mid-fight, like in the most inconvenient of ways.
Jason, to be fair, if you were fighting alongside someone who put 2 bullet holes in you, wouldn't you want an apology if there is a possibility that you could die in the midst of this fight?
At some point, man, but not in the middle of the fight, no.
I mean, but the thing is, you might not see the end of that fight. So just go ahead and apologize.
It is what it is.
I said, then the apology ain't gonna do me no good if I'm dead anyway.
But at least you would have got it. Because then it would make me want to okay, I'm gonna try harder to make sure they survive this fight. But if I'm fighting with somebody I got a grudge against, yeah,
it's so petty.
But nah. Jarhead was the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, they got quite a. That's a star-studded list that I just looked at. But back to this movie here. So White Death and the Elder, they began their fight. What do you think about this scene here with them fighting on?
I feel like the Elder should have been able to take him out quick, but then again, White Death is somebody that they're a very skilled elite fighter. So it's just all right, but I know who the Elder is. I know who the Elder used to be. And he ain't no slouch. So I'm just
yeah, he got some. I want to watch a full movie. Just a full movie with him. He's in the Ring. I want to say the original, like what America adapted. He's in that. So
I heard that movie was scary as shit, and I was just I ain't watching that.
He's come from the adapted one, but yeah, he's I want to see just a movie
of his fighting skills.
Yeah, like to see how he is. Cause we see him in different stuff. One of the Mortal Kombat was probably one of the best that showed him and how he uses different stuff.
Jason is hilarious. I don't know if you noticed this, Jazz. This whole episode on that low key, League of Thrones.
Yo, my League of Thrones was easy for this episode.
It's so funny. He did it 3 times. And he said, "Did you know that's Kimiko?" Yes, nigga, we knew. Shut up. He's taking them all one by one. You ain't getting no slipping. It's cool. Keep going.
But yeah, in game. So he was in there is where he fought Hawkeye. You just mentioned Jeremy Renner in there. Michael Shannon also, he was White Death. That was never mind. Stop playing.
It's hilarious.
So like I said, but White Death gets the best. Gets the best of the Elder. But in the midst of him getting the best of him, we go back to Lemon and Ladybug. They're trying to figure out how to stop this train. So he finally gets his apology, and then he was like, all this stuff about tank engines and trains, you can't stop. He said, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for life. it's not. I'm not a conductor. And then he finds the instruction manual, which of course he loses the instruction manual.
Of course.
It goes right out, and he was like, man, you know what? But before he does that, there's one more attacker that pops into the room, and then I hate these. I hate these because because of Glenn in Walking Dead. This is why I hate these type of scenes where they keep on making a person appear as if they get killed. Like this is like the second or third time we watch him almost die, right?
This one he doesn't come back. Never, I'm tripping. He does. Yeah. So I see.
He tackles him out of the train. I'm just like, bro, that's how he died. Well, at least he had a doper death than what it seemed like at first.
Yeah, but we seen this man drop kick two other people, so I feel like he could have just kicked. I don't think he needed to tackle him, but he did do a drop kick. I ain't know Paperboy can move like that. I see that. I was like, okay. But I digress. It's fine.
He tackles the guy out of the train, and he's just like, damn, he sacrificed his life for what? Like, oh,
that's look at too. Ladybug. Okay.
And then Ladybug, he figures, he was like, man, I can't figure out how to wire this, so he just pulls the brake, which this derails the train.
Of course
it derails the train. The train goes off the
tracks.
It off the track. It goes off the track, and it just goes through Kyoto. It just goes through, just tearing through everything in the train. You get White Death. He gets cut by one of the swords in the midst of the fight. With
Jason,
the
this
elder.
sword was through his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's walking around with it still in his shoulder. But hold on, can we go back to the high level of plot armor?
Yes.
Every one of these characters had.
Take Ladybug.
But Ladybug was
crazy, man.
Ladybug. So when the train derailed and you see Ladybug flying, he hit no rails. He did nothing. He was just straight. He saw all the chaos in slow motion, and he didn't hit anything but the big anime stuff at the end. And I'm just like, bro, like his name is Ladybug. Turned around eventually, but I was just cracking up. I was just like, is he gonna hit his head? Well, he actually did get hit the head with something. But
I like how the elder said it. He was like, he said you're the Ladybug, so you hold all the bad luck, good fortunes within you, and you take it away from everything that happens around you. So
you know how pissed off I would be if somebody said that bullshit to me. Like, oh, so you're holding everybody's bad luck so they can live a good life, but you have to hold all of this? I would be so pissed off. I'd be like, wait a minute, can I sage it away?
it didn't. It works out for him technically. Nothing ever happened to him.
Does that seem like everything that he went through? Does that seem like a day that you would want to have?
Hell no.
So obviously, it ain't working out that good for him.
But he is an assassin. He should have had just a piece of hood job or something.
We don't know if he's an assassin.
That's karma. That's karma.
He's a snatch and grab. He's a snatch and grab.
That's why you don't take
exactly. So they get derailed. Everybody make it to wherever they make it. Everything stops. Everybody gets off. He's out looking like, man, I can't believe he made it. And unfortunately, White Death also makes it. But of course, like you said, the knife's still in him. I believe he tries to try one. He tries the first gun, right? It doesn't shoot. It's empty. His little Russian roulette gun. He took all the bullets out. Whatever, it's gone.
Yeah, he shot him when the train derailed. So the bullet that he had.
That's why they missed. He missed the one he was about to actually shoot him with. And then he pulls out the one. Which you say so, Chris?
Now I was just gonna say, like, mostly towards the beginning, but we'll get another one before we finish the movie. But it was so many. Everything was a callback, because even when he was on the train with the elder, and he was like, "How about for old time's sake?" and he dropped all the bullets except the one, and he did the shoulder. Everything was a callback. Like everything from the Zazie Beetz' character, like, Jazz mentioned at the beginning with the anime character and the snake. Everything was just, it was just a great movie. This movie was fun.
The way they tied everything up toward the end, it was super dope. How they did that, and he pulls the gun back out that the prince gave him, and then he was like, man, fuck. He was like, bro, Carver called out of work. He was sick, he said, "Where's Carver? Where's Carver?" It made me think of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like get to the chopper. Like when he kept screaming like, "Where's Carver?" And he tries to shoot him, and of course blows his head off. And he was like, "Oh, they gotta be like karma, right? Like they they gotta be like bad. They gotta be like karma." And then the elder takes his knife back out of his shoulder and throws the blood. He was like, "Oh man, that was nasty."
What his white
Oh,
shoes?
his shoes.
I thought it was funny too because before White Death was shot Ladybug, and he said dude or something. He said don't call me dude or something. I was just like, bro.
He just seemed so irritated. He was just like, "Yo, just leave, just leave." It's like he sounded so irritated and aggravated. And you have like a crime boss holding a gun to you with a sword in his shoulder, and you are the wrong person. Like you didn't kill his wife.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Like, I thought this scene was wild. And then so the White Death is now dead, and then we see his daughter, the prince,
shooting a gun.
How is she still alive? So many characters had like thick plot armor because I'm just like, so wait, all of y'all.
She went missing.
Yeah, she ran down the train and somehow
right
the safest pocket in the train.
She went to one of those bathroom stalls. It was just like, I'm gonna sit here and just wait. But karma finally came back to her. She got hit by a tangerine truck. She got tarried. Finally, somebody got tarried. So
it's so funny that it was actually a tangerine truck because
exactly.
she got Tangerine killed and then karma
and she got killed by Tangerine. Hey man, it caused on, and then the same exact truck was the one about to hit Ladybug when the movie first comes on. So yeah, it was nice to see that
really
come back. Yeah, that's what I must get hit by when the movie first come on. So we finally meet the handler. On here, I felt like she was going to be she was going to be somebody else, but I felt like it was going to be something more to her because they started showing her for whatever reason that she was moving. I guess it was just showing her as she was driving, getting to him the entire time. We see the legendary Sandra Bullock, and then we were talking about Barry. You know, the entire movie we didn't see Barry. Barry was the therapist of Ladybug, which was you know who it was, Chris? Who Barry was supposed to be?
Who he was supposed to be? No.
Yeah. So Barry, fun fact, another movie about a speeding transportation, starring Miss Sandra Bullock.
Speed?
Yeah, yes. It would have been
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu was supposed to be Barry, but they couldn't get it to go through. So it was just funny how in that movie they was always riffing back and forth on each other. She was like, forget whatever Barry tells you to do and just do what you need to do to make sure you take care of the job. So allegedly it was greenlit for number 2. So maybe he'll be in there. We don't know, but he's supposed to be there. I believe so for part 2. So yeah, he was supposed to be he's supposed to be the therapist. So hopefully we get that scene of him. And this movie does have a little end credit. In here we find out who was actually driving the tangerine truck. Turns out Lemon didn't die, which that scene was funny. He's like, man, I'm alive, but he running from the guy in the water, which conveniently he finds a machine gun in the water. Like, okay,
You never went to a lake or anything and there was machine guns in there?
No, I know today, have like Jasons and fishes and things like that in lakes, but machine guns, I've not found a machine gun at the lake yet.
But you seen some Jasons in the water when you gone?
I'm literally Jason at the water.
I thought she was talking about Jason Voorhees. I wasn't sure where he was going with that.
He don't acknowledge no.
No,
this is true. He's all about Michael. Got you.
Yeah, but we also said that when he wanted a banana because he needed some potassium to make him feel better about it. So he tries to get inside the car. And as he's doing it, of course, a light pole falls on the car. And he's like, oh, well, that must have been karma or fate telling me not to eat the banana. But there goes some wasabi seeds, which he's been eating the entire time anyway.
Nah, that was funny because that was a nice car too. But that was an Audi. But another callback I thought was interesting was the PG water bottle, which we saw the whole movie pretty much through the point of view of the Fiji water bottle from Lemonade Tangerine at the vending machine. And it wasn't even what he ordered. I think he got bubble tea or something else he wanted.
Bubble tea.
Yeah, it ended up coming out being water. And then we just see everything throughout the whole movie and where it ends up at the end, helping, take out White Dove. So that was just funny too.
Yeah, it was because the son, the father, he threw the water bottle at the White Death as well, right? Yeah. So yeah, that was super dope, super dope. But that is the conclusion of the Bullet Train. How did you guys? Well, was it good though?
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really fun. I like the progression of the story. Like I said, the train, you moving forward each stop, we got more and more to the story. And it was funny because Jazz mentioned, one of you guys mentioned, I don't remember, but basically trying to figure out how everything ties together at the beginning. And then slowly but surely we see it through either flashbacks or just like plot twists or whatever, whatever it was. That was probably my favorite aspect of the movie. It was just really fun.
Yeah, it really was. I enjoyed it a lot from beginning to end. I know some people didn't like the one setting, but I mean they gave enough settings within the flashbacks and different things that happen when you see other pieces happen. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, different train cars. So it was versatile,
you got that, and then you got like so many fight scenes.
Exactly.
So, and then you got flashbacks that had fight scenes, and people in the forest chopping up bodies. People at a wedding in the desert, spitting up blood. I'm sorry, there were multiple locations in this movie, but all right.
I think I saw this trailer before. It was either before Nope or before Everything Everywhere all at once. It was one of those two I saw, and I was interested in seeing it. I can't remember.
Nope dropped over the summer, so I guess it could have been either one. But Everything Everywhere definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I think this dropped in August, so it might have been.
I think so.
Yeah, it might have been before Nope, but I just remember seeing the trailer and it seemed interesting. Just the cast. I saw Paperboy and I saw Zazie Beetz, and I was just like,
you in.
Yeah,
I'm a Brad Pitt guy, so after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, yeah, if he in the action movie, I got to see it after how he threw that bottle. He threw was it a bottle or he threw a brick at the girl?
He threw a bottle, I think.
It was a can. I think
it was something to drink. You talking about at the end?
Yeah, at the end he threw it at the girl's face, and I'm like, bro, this dude is sick. He liked to throw stuff.
He lit her head. I was like, dang, then the dog. Yeah, that was good. That was another Jason again. He was trying to get some Lincoln Thrones. He not slick. That's like the sixth time he did that. Oh man, that's
so.
So what is you guys' since we here? What are you guys' Link of Thrones?
I'll go first.
I'll go last.
My Link of Thrones is going to be Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
He was the White Death. He was in 8 Mile.
That's so funny because I said Papa Dog earlier. I don't even remember him in 8 Mile. Who was he in 8 Mile?
Who? He was Kim Basinger's boyfriend that she was in an abusive relationship that B Rabbit got into a fight with.
Oh, right. Yeah. Jesus.
Okay.
The trailer, they was fighting in the chat. Yeah.
He was in Knives Out as well.
He was, but I was just like, I'm not using that because Knives Out was recently used last week.
And he was in Man of Steel. Chad, you got Man of Steel.
He was General Zod, right?
Yeah.
He got some range.
He got a nice catalog. He got a nice catalog. I can't speak on range, but I think.
I mean, Knives Out, this, General Zod, and then 8 Mile, them different people, but yeah, I get it. I'm gonna go with Aaron Taylor Johnson, the King's Man. Like he wasn't huge in that movie, but he is in that movie. And that movie has one of the biggest plot twists I've seen in like recent years.
Oh, that's the one that dropped a couple years ago, or last year or the year before, right? You kept telling me.
Yeah, it happened. It was it was going through. It happened during the pandemic, so it didn't really do well. Right. And it has a slow point up until that, and like that point there, I was just like, this is a completely different movie, and your guy from The Menu is the lead in that one, Jazz.
Oh, Jazz don't seem too impressed with The Menu. I don't know.
No, it was straight. I just if I got a big, like I said before, I enjoyed the menu more than Smile. The menu was straight. It was creative.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
I would say like I'll be like Jason and be like maybe a 6.57. Oh, Jason don't give sevens. Never mind.
I do give sevens. It's just I typically give 5 and 6s. The menu got a 7.5.
Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed it enough to give it a 7.5.
He enjoyed it. Oh, never
mind. Yeah. So Lincoln Thrones. Mine is going to be Sandra Bullock, who of course was the handler at the end. She was in this film called Gravity. Have you guys seen that movie?
That was with her and Deadpool.
George Clooney?
Yeah, not Deadpool. Yeah, they were. It was a space. She was in space. That movie is really good. I remember the trailer. I don't know. I don't want to say it was the Super Bowl, but I just remember the trailer when it first came out. They didn't give away too much, but it was just like, why are you laughing?
Jason's
she
face.
laughing in my face.
Oh, forget Jason. It was enough to.
It was sad.
Well, okay. I mean, I like the movie. I don't.
I didn't say. I was just saying. I was just like, it's kind of it kind of reminded me of Castaway a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Armageddon. You ever seen it?
I've seen Armageddon long time ago.
Yeah.
That's the one with the meteor, right?
That's a good one.
With Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I saw that a long time ago.
Ooh, yeah. Lord have mercy. That's like probably the first movie I ever cried watching. I was like, oh look, wait a minute, that's not what they gonna do, right?
Crying during Armageddon.
That's bro, like that, man, that messed me up.
When he called his daughter, you was sitting there crying.
I was like 6 or 7, yeah. I was like messed up watching that.
But yeah, Sandra Bullock. But I also wanted to shout out Brad Pitt because he's Brad Pitt, of course. But his production credits, and there's some interesting movies on here that we reference actually. Kick-Ass is one. He was a producer. Jason talked about that. Moonlight. I had no idea.
You know that? Yeah.
No,
his production, his production company is crazy. He shout out to Nate. Me and Nate always talking about stuff like that. But yeah, he stepped back from acting to do the production company. So that's what he was directing, producing. That's more so what he was going into. So his production company, Rock, take notes, is where a lot of that stuff comes from.
That's funny. I also wanted to shout out If Bill Street Could Talk and Jazz's guy, the last black man in San Francisco.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors is in that. I haven't seen it personally, but people always say, that would be a good introduction. So yeah,
he's stepped into a lot of black films, which is kind of crazy. But
yeah, it is interesting.
That's dope. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add for this film?
Not for the film. Not for the film, no.
Oh, was there anything else you wanted to add?
What do you got cooking up?
Oh yeah. Oh man. So this week we've had a interesting week, right? We've had an interesting week. So we've been throwing up different like polls and surveys, and one of them kind of went crazy. It was, rank your favorite. Is it you want to say black classic? You want to say how teen classic? I don't know how to want to.
Atlanta. Was it ATL? Coming of age classic, black classic?
Coming up. It's all these movies been out for at least 10 years. So I feel like we should know at this point, right?
Try 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. You got Sarah.
Atlanta. I would say Atlanta at least 20. Atlanta got ATL got to be 20.
Yeah.
Stomp the Yard was like 2018. That's when it's like 2008, 2007. That was like at the time of Chris. But yeah, we had a survey rank the movies: Atlanta, Stomp the Yard, You Got Served, and Drumline. We had two general consensus in this. Most people said that Atlanta does not belong. Because it wasn't, Chris said it wasn't, there was no competition in the end of the movie. So it kind of made it stand alone. And some people say put road bounce in there. I know Chris, he's given his definitive ranking. I don't think I have, and I know Jazz hasn't. So Chris, I want you to go ahead and go with yours again. And then me and Jazz will rank ours here.
Mine was Drumline number 1, Stomp the Yard, ATL, and You Got Served. less. And Drumline, to me, it was just automatic number one for me, just because I remember when that movie came out, mad people wanted to start playing drums. Like that was around the time when
Facts.
the pencils, everybody
Facts.
was trying to do you know what I'm saying? Like all of that. I think that was the first time I see Zoe Saldana, and just, it's just a classic. It's just takes me back. Stomp the Yard was epic to me just because of the ending. When you had, I think it was a great coming of age movie as well, but just showing what's his name's growth throughout the film. But then the ending, like dance battle at the end, was just super dope. ATL was ATL, it was just cool. You Got Served was dope, but I feel like Stomp the Yard and Drumline were better as far as competitive movie. You know what I'm saying? And
I
then
agree.
like
I agree.
so that's pretty much what's my
I
thought.
agree. Do you want to go, Jazz?
Yeah, sure. So, because I know you said you replaced Atlanta for Roll Bounce. So you want the first
I
example
mean,
of
you
the
can. So people wanted to replace
right.
it. I said don't. You can. I mean, if you want
All right.
to, you
Nah,
can.
we ain't got to. Uh, so I will definitely say Stomp the Yard first, and then ATL, and then Drumline, and then You Got Served. I have not gone back to watch You Got Served in I don't know how long. I don't think I can withstand the acting. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and do their thing. Like,
Yeah,
so
that movie had some epic scenes though. If you think about it.
yeah. Anytime y'all want to do a dancing in the rain video, go ahead and drop that. But Jason owes so many from last year, so we're never gonna get that. And so Atlanta, of course, is a classic. Anytime you talk about roller skating, it's just like, oh, I be on my Atlanta vibes.
Cascade.
I don't know about y'all, but because I be out here skating. Skating and swimming skills is elite. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. What you got to say, Jason? What?
Nothing at all. Nothing
right.
at all.
Better not.
That's amazing. I'm glad you can do that.
And Chris, I would definitely agree. Like when Drumline dropped, because have y'all ever been to a like a Drumline competition of like HBCUs?
Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands is
better.
I used to love like Battle of the Bands and step shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Whew.
I think the closest one I did was y'all heard of the Universal Circus, right?
Yeah.
Black Circus. Yeah, I went there one year and they had the stunt double for Nick Cannon, who actually did the drumming.
The drumming.
Yeah, he was there.
I was so disappointed when finding out he wasn't drumming.
I mean, yeah, it sort of threw away the illusion a little bit, but I still like the movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
And that big dude at the end when he had the chin strap was up here. Sunlight is so fire. I should watch it again. Shut up, fight.
Yeah, you got to. I know growing up we used to have this thing called Battle of Bands, but this was actually a high school competition. So that's where that wasn't my first. Like, fun fact, like growing up, I always wanted to be a drum major. Like I always wanted to be like when I was younger. So I was I was the kid, right, in my family, outside of like my siblings. But then of course I was still the kid because my siblings were always with my mom. So I used to be around with my auntie, uncle, I don't have no uncles, my auntie and my cousins, like all my cousins. And I used to go to my cousin's school. And then that's where I seen the bands. And then I was like, oh man, I like how that guy right there is making the crowd go crazy. I'm like, man, that's what I could be, with a twirling little stick and making them, popping and dancing and whatnot. So yeah, I wanted to be a drum major, end up going to a white school. So we didn't have that. They had what was it, color guard, whatever the hell that was,
Yeah.
some weak stuff. But
yeah,
if I had to rank mine, I definitely would go. I think Stump the Yard would be my favorite of the movies, personally. Man, Drumline 8 Atlanta, man, those two movies there, they both hit for different reasons. I think Atlanta probably the funniest, just like quotables and things that they have in there. But I'm gonna go with Drumline, I believe. And shout out to Jason Weaver, because he's in Drumline and he's in Atlanta.
ATL.
So yeah, he from Smart Guy, super. And he also played Michael Jackson, and he sung those songs
He did
in American, and he was also Simba. He was also Simba. Yeah, so shout out to him. And of course, last got to be You Got Served. That's just comedy. all the way from beginning to end, and just horrible act. Like I don't think anybody from that movie progressed besides like what's her name? What's the sister? What's the lady name in your show on Amazon?
Who you talking about?
Nah, she didn't. No, come on now. She Megan Good.
I forgot Megan Good was the friend. Yeah, she wasn't.
She's the friend in that.
Oh, that means she was in 2 of the movies in this.
Yeah,
in this poll.
Yeah,
because she was in Stomp the Yard. She was Columbus Short's love interest.
Remember she was running when he was.
There's no way you don't remember Megan Good.
You remember that pink outfit, Jason? Come on.
I remember the thing. I'm just my mind like, man, I can't.
Nah, I remember that. I was a teenager, so I'm just saying.
Because
wait, no,
Jason, here go another fun fact. Mother's Milk is also in Stomp the Yard.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah, he was. I remember that. I know that. I'm like, man. I'm thinking Megan Good. I think the love interest is a different person. Okay. Yeah.
No, it was Megan Good. She was in that movie with Tyrese too.
Waist deep.
Waist deep.
Yo, man.
Probably...
Oh man, it is hilarious.
Has Zoe Saldana had any other black love interests besides that movie?
I feel like she has, but that's a good question.
That was 20 years. That was literally 21 years ago. She ain't had another one since. She said Nick was it. I bet not never. From scratch.
Don't do something like that.
No, that was jumping to say, oh, she was in Get Rich or Not. That was Joy. That was Joy.
Joy Bryant. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Joy. So nah, but this was one.
She was in Guess Who? Bernie Mac.
You said what?
Ashton Kutcher.
Bernie Mac.
Bruh.
Hey, you got a point. I'm just
Gamora from scratch.
Jason,
at the funeral.
Jason, we don't have to keep. It's a lot. Like
Columbiana.
Columbiana's another one. Hey man.
Hold on. I got another one. Adam Project.
Yep. That's another one. We just talked about.
Come on. It's all. We know what we off that. But from one lover to some other lovers. So this really sparked a thing for us. So we wanted to do agree or disagree, right?
That's
so this is a new segment. Agree or disagree. We're gonna credit Jazz for this one. But based on this topic, just really crazy. So we wanted to come up with a new one. And so we're gonna be respectful to the Black community because this typically is something that we deal with. But between these two actresses, who do you feel plays a drug user better on camera?
Lord. Jesus. Crazy.
We have Zendaya, of course, Euphoria, amazing. And we have Halle Berry, countless acts of drug use in these movies.
What?
All right, so for me, I'm rolling with Halle Berry. Like there's not a thing. I'm rolling with Halle Berry. I appreciate what Zendaya brought to the role, but I feel like Zendaya just used the Halle template to create that.
But even still, that could be true. But if you look at performance-wise, Zendaya did a better performance as that role as Rue, as somebody that was dealing with substance abuse. So if you put like performances of Halle Berry in Losing Isaiah and Jungle Fever, and then you put Zendaya, Euphoria season 1, season 2. Jason, you're sitting up here saying that Halle Berry put up a better performance.
Yes, I think she put up a better performance. I appreciate what Zendaya has brought. She well deserved one of them. I'm like no, but shout out to what Zendaya has done for the actual role. But I don't know what else can she do besides like we got that, right?
No, I mean you can, but we're just comparing.
So if we just talking about just as far as her like the drug use in that, I mean, yeah, it's like she can play. We know she can do the role, right? She can do the role, but I mean, like when it comes to Rue, like it's not. I feel like the stuff around her more so is what sells it for me, as opposed to when it's Halle Berry on screen. It's what Halle is bringing to the character. Like the stuff that like Chris was talking about, how she was interacting with her sister, how she was interacting with her mom, whether the conversation, yes, she is giving that role, but I feel like the things around her are what do this. Halle Berry is predominantly doing this, like she's by herself, and it's just she's giving this, and it's just like it's her.
Right.
And I know Chris did a comparison of how she looks, and I'm going to stand on a lot of women that used drugs back in the day. They weren't ugly looking women. You had ugly women, ugly looking ones, or women that didn't that looks bad. Let me not say ugly looking, but looked bad due to the drug use. But it doesn't. Everybody doesn't have to do that. Like, you can say like Rue. Rue is just. I mean, that's just Zendaya with messy hair. Like it's not like she looks bad. It's just her. She just wears the same clothes all the time. I feel like.
So I also want to throw in the fact that both of them was on 2 different substances.
This is true.
So
this is true.
Rue was on obviously chemicals
Coke.
like coke and then prescription medication.
Yeah, pills.
Rue, she was on pills, and then Halle in her movies. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was on crack. So I think the aesthetic of how they look is going to make this difficult for comparison because they were on 2 different substances. But I see what you're saying when you're saying with Rue, they during the shots of her showing what the drugs were doing to her, you saw the reaction from her mother, you saw the reaction of her sister, which made it more impactful because as a viewer, you just like look at what she's doing to not only her but to people around her. Now, I have not seen Jungle Fever in a while or Losing Isaiah. So I'm assuming you're going off the scenes of where when Halle was showing what her substance addiction was doing, the shot was focused on her and maybe her dialogue. Is that correct?
Correct. So like just how she's reacting to how she's handled certain situations, from throwing her son away to finding out her son is still alive, to you have the thing of her going through the drug use. You have the thing of her trying to clean herself up to be better in that, within that. And like I said, we see all these same things with Rue. Like we go through the entire season when Rue is clean until she ties herself. She has what is that? A codependency issue.
Oh, to Jules.
With Jules, and because Jules leaves her, she relapsed.
Right.
And then we see how that plays out in season 2, and she's back on that going crazy on there, trying to, she's not necessarily trying to get off, but she's going crazy based on the drugs and whatnot. And then we see that. So yeah, I don't know.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
Season 2, episode 5 of Euphoria.
I need more than that.
That's how he knows. So that's how he can. That's how he can pull from. He can't pull from nothing else.
No. The whole series. But that's what won her the award she just won. That episode. When that episode dropped, literally everyone was talking about she's gonna win. She should win an award for this. Like it's just certain moments that capture it beyond like this.
And I don't like that because like there was one scene throughout the entire season, that entire season, man. That nothing else episode, that she. It was a whole episode, but that was one episode. But everything else in that, she was kind of like background the entire, except that one episode.
Well, she made her mark. So, actually.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, nah. I'm around with Halle.
Okay.
In that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I can't give Halle that much because she made Catwoman.
Chris, nope. That's
okay. If that's the fact, what the hell has Zendaya made that made you want to go see it?
Dune, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa! Time. First off, she wasn't the face of any of these movies.
You just
she only had and she no. What I said was, what was the movie that she made with her face on it that made you go and go see it? You're not gonna pick a Spider-Man movie when she's not. What?
So what's the most recent movie with Halle Berry? You said I gotta go see that because of Halle Berry.
What most recent movie they had Halle Berry? That what's it? Not enough, but was it enough? Is enough? Whatever that UFC movie was.
Enough was
I watched it. That was that was Jennifer, but I can't think of the name of the movie. But it was a UFC movie about her losing her son.
You notice I named all my movies, right, Jazz? It's okay though.
You name movies that are blockbusters with Marvel, and it had nothing to do with Zendaya. Zendaya not filling them seats, and she was in John Wick. But I mean, of course, she's not the lead person in that. So in John Wick 3,
I'm just saying.
And you talking about Halle Berry? She's in her 50s, bro. Zendaya like 23.
You made
it's not even a fair conversation that you having right now.
But you started the whole comparison. I just thought Zendaya's better drug addict.
Better drug user. I don't know what like I said, outside of Euphoria, you know, I've yet to see the lead role with Zendaya that's gonna carry a movie from beginning to end.
And she's still new.
Can that happen? She's not.
Disney Channel don't count.
Why don't it? That's where Jenna started. That's where Raven Simone started. That's where Bree. That's where what's the girl from 101? That's where she started.
Kyla Pratt.
Kyla Pratt. What?
But Jason, I will add, what Black Disney star do you know can lead a blockbuster film right now? Everybody you name can.
You mean right now?
Yeah, I mean, or even when they like Raven Simone was not carrying a blockbuster movie. So I think it's kind of unfair to try to say what Halle Berry has done, because of course trying to compare those two in my mind is crazy looking at their catalog. But I am just like, let's just focus on
their I mean, you mean like as far as the hits, because they have a similar amount of credits.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to put a Halle Berry and Zendaya comparison. Like, no, that's not fair.
Why not?
So, Jason,
if you want to do that,
she got golden. Zendaya got two golden. Zendaya got two Golden Globes. She got two Golden Globes, right?
Jason,
Halle Berry got one Oscar.
What are you saying right now?
Why couldn't you?
Jason,
why couldn't you put Halle Berry and Zendaya up? Like, are you serious? No, you're not.
Why not? Why not? Why I'm saying I'm asking you why not? Is it Halle Berry?
You talking about somebody who was in what?
Halle Berry got 3 Marvel movies that sold like shit. Zendaya got 3 Marvel movies that sold like shit.
So what you saying? And they weren't better.
But you're comparing 20 years ago. It's not going to sell more than that. It's going to be super rare to pick a movie that sold 20 years ago compared to 20.
That's Jazz's point. Why are you making that comparison?
There's no way you can make this comparison.
Yeah, one is in her 50s.
Like that's crazy.
She's doing this forever, and Zendaya is literally her first credit was 202013. So like, what do you like? You can't make that comparison.
You really can't. You talking about 25 plus years compared to 10.
Her first film was Super Buddies in 2013, and she was a voice credit. She was doing Disney before that. Then she was in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which all 3 made $1, by the way.
Jason, how are you sitting up here even trying to put them in a full compare their catalog? Like, that's crazy.
Nigga, he keeps on saying Spider-Man. He mentioned the Spider-Man movie. Don't mention Spider-Man to me with Zendaya, bruh.
Why? Is she not on the movie poster?
Her face is not why we're going to see this movie though.
Jason, we're going to see it because of Spider-Man.
She's not even the best MJ or the best love interest in the Spider-Man movie. Who gives it? No. Everything.
It's Gwen Stacy.
She's fuck Zendaya. What are we doing? She what?
She's not Mary Jane. So what are you talking about, MJ?
I said MJ. I said MJ because that's what you want to ride with, and I said love interest.
Right, Gwen Stacy's the best
Spider-Man love interest. The goddamn cartoon character is better than MJ.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yes.
And you talking about
Spider-Gwen? Yes, Spider-Gwen is better.
Spider-Gwen is better than MJ?
Yes, Into the Spider-Verse. MJ is. Gwen Stacy is better.
Okay. You see, he just moved the goalpost, by the way, but that's fine. I don't know how you compare these two at all. Like, even the drug thing. Like,
you compared the drug thing.
You brought it up. Conversation. No, you brought it up. You brought up the topic.
I can't compare them because what?
We just told you why. Halle Berry been doing this forever. Zendaya first film credit was 2013.
That has nothing to do with who can portray.
Jason, yes it does.
This.
Yes it does. What you're not about to do is let that shit. No, my nigga, no.
Jazz, no, because okay, Jazz, when did losing? Okay, look at Halle Berry's first credit to when she did Losing Isaiah, and then talk to me about when you can and you cannot do any of this and that.
It was her first credit. It was her first credit playing a drug user.
It was in that was in Jungle Fever. Jungle Fever came before Losing Isaiah. But so, I'm saying
all the comparison is Jungle Fever versus Euphoria, because that's both their first credits of doing drug using. So are you comparing that?
We're not gonna use the first because she did it for 2 seasons of it. No.
But Halle Berry has been in it longer. That's what she's saying.
Wait.
No, but you can't. No. You're not going to compare who's been in what anything longer. I'm saying go from, if your conversation was based on when a person started, you need to at least use 10 years of work from when Halle Berry began her career. There needs to be at least 10 years from when Losing Isaiah. If Losing Isaiah happened within the first 10 years of there, huh?
That was in 99.
What's that?
Losing Isaiah.
It came out in 1999. Her first credit was what? I think A Different World or something like that.
I mean, she was in Strictly Business in 91. And then you got Why Do Fools Fall in Love, which was in 98. So, what are y'all talking about right now?
What is he talking about?
Because
so Chris, because y'all keep saying you cannot compare the two because of Halle Berry's been in the game for so long. We're not talking about Halle Berry over the years. We're talking about Halle at the beginning of her career.
No, so she said that in response to you.
Zendaya at the beginning of her career, and who portrayed a drug user better. I said Halle Berry, and y'all said I can't compare the two.
No.
I didn't compare their careers.
If you go into the movies, who you not going to see Zendaya face? I said that her first film credit was 2013. So of course Halle Berry will have the advantage. So you can't use that. But if you want to talk about the movies, then we can do that as well.
Okay. If you're gonna do that, Chris, if I put Zendaya and I put Jenna Ortega in front of you, who movie you going to go see first?
Zendaya.
Y'all some damn liars.
No,
yeah, and there is no way you're about to go see a Zendaya movie as opposed to Jenna Ortega, bro. You're not gonna tell me that today. Y'all lying. Y'all some liars, bro. I haven't seen the Zendaya movie I haven't seen the Zendaya project that's gonna sell me to go see Zendaya. That's
even more reason
that's my
if
thing.
You believe we would go see it. You already know what we on.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm rooting for everybody black, but Zendaya half white, so I don't know how that count.
And Jenna is all white, or she damn sure ain't black.
She's not white. We're gonna use Chris' story now. She's not white at all. Yes, I'm bringing you in this. I'm taking. Jason. If I'm going down, we both going down. She ain't white.
Bruh.
You shout for all the move for everybody black, but yeah.
I'm just saying.
So Zendaya, Jazz, you going with Zendaya? Better.
And this between what?
Halle Berry.
Yes, Zendaya. Yes.
Zendaya. Chris, you going with Zendaya? I'm going with Halle Berry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a poll and we're gonna see what the people want, or see who the people think. Does a better drug abuser?
I ain't gonna lie, Jason put that Losing Isaiah scene in the chat, and it was cool. I turned on season 2, episode 5 of Euphoria. I was just like, Jason, you gotta stop.
But that's not. But I don't. So within the conversation, within the context.
Scene to scene.
No, you can't do that. You can't do a scene to scene because it's an entire episode dedicated to her doing that, right? It's an entire hour of a 10 episode thing arc of a character being built.
So why'd you make it in the first place if you're gonna make that rule?
No, because you said you comparing scene to scene. You can't compare scene to scene because it's an entire episode dedicated to it as opposed to a person. We have to see fall, pick themselves back up, correct it, fall again, and you have an entire. It's completely different. Like when you do that. So like when you say I compare scene to scene, watch the movie, then come back and talk to me about it. You don't get to pick a scene, nigga. That entire thing was her doing that.
But Jason, you linked the scene.
Jason,
I linked a scene, yes, because I'm like, bro, this is a good scene. I mean, but it's an entire episode.
Good scene.
But it is what it is. What you gotta say, Jazz?
I can look at all season 2 and then look at losing Isaiah, and I will still.
I can look at all season 2 and then look at season Isaiah. Like look at it. Sure. You haven't seen it. That's
Who hasn't seen it? Who hasn't seen it?
You haven't. I mean,
bruh. Is that what we doing? So hold on, Chris. You see this? Because I told him earlier today. No, I told him yesterday. I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
and he knows that I've seen it. So now he on the pod talking about you ain't seen it. And I'm like, nigga, you know I've seen it. Like, what are you talking about, Jason? Don't pull that shit when people vote. You wrong. Don't sit up here and be like, maybe they just ain't seen it. It's not
a thing of I'm wrong. I don't care what they do. I can pick what they do.
But no, my thing is, if you have less people voting on your side, don't sit up here and say the people that voted against your side is because they have not seen the movie or come up with some excuse.
In that situation, Jazz, because Jazz, in that. Just like Chris did. I asked Crystal as well. Because she did the same thing. I said, which one do you think? And she was like, well, I've never seen Halle Berry do this. So I'm going with Zendaya.
So that means.
But you haven't seen it. Why are you voting?
No.
If you haven't seen it.
Okay. But if you have people that have seen the movie and they say Zendaya killed that role.
But I'm not. So Jazz, I'm not doing that because it's not a thing. I'm not going to have a conversation. No. Hey, have you seen? I'm not going to.
No. I'm not.
Hey,
saying
have
that.
you seen this? Hey, have you seen it? I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying we see how people are doing it. This is the set. Chris and Crystal are two people that they have not seen it at all. Never seen a trailer for either of these movies, but they are picking a person based on what they like or what they can. So, recency bias.
So how about this? When we do our poll, no, it's not fine. Because when we do our poll,
it is. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. It is what it is.
How about this? When we do our poll, they got Halle, they got Zendaya. I haven't seen one of the films. How about you do it like that? To where if you haven't seen one of the films, your vote doesn't matter because it's not balanced. But I have seen the films, both of them. And you still looked at me like I was crazy because I said Zendaya.
I didn't look at you. I didn't look at you like you nothing. I just looked
at nigga. You did. I synced you. Seen me look at me crazy. I synced it.
No, you seen me sing. You seen me see you look at you, and that was just it.
Nah, because you was over here like on some BS, and I'm like Jason. And then when you came back and said somebody else said the same thing. All these excuses,
because because it's the truth. It's not an excuse. It's the
we're gonna take it to the polls. That's why we created a segment, Agree to Disagree, because obviously with the title at the end of this, we're not going to agree. So it's just one of the things to where everybody say what their argument is, why that it is, and their side and their information. So
thanks.
That's what it is. Chris, is there anything that you would like to add?
I just like Zendaya. I don't,
We'll it sounds like a bias to me, don't it?
It did, but I didn't want to say nothing. I can't.
He was just playing spades. Call a spade a spade. I'm sick of it. I am sick. No, call it out. I like both. No, you like Zendaya more.
I like her portrayal of Rue. That's what I'm saying.
What was so captivating about Rue, Chris?
I said season 2, episode 5. Just watch season 2, episode 5. That's what That's what was captivating.
What about it? What about it was captivating?
She was convincing.
I know.
Like, what are you talking about? You just asked me, did I have anything? I said season 2.
Just a quick question, Chris. Yeah. Just a quick question. Just before I'm gonna close this out. Chris Rocket's Pookie or Zendaya's Rue? Who did it better, Chris?
I would probably say Chris Rock. Actually, I don't know. That's closer than Halle Berry, though. But then you go into the point of Chris Rock.
Hey, fuck Halle Berry. We're gonna have a real conversation now. I'm not gonna have a conversation. We moving Halle Berry.
No. You said Chris has one movie. Zendaya has two seasons of a series. So is that?
But I know you've seen this, so it just made you question everything you said prior to. Halle Berry didn't.
No, it didn't, because Chris Rock and Halle Berry are two different people. They don't make me question.
I know Chris Rock. Is Chris Rock a great actor? Like you putting him in the movie, like you'd be like, whoop whoop, like.
But Chris Rock has also been in it longer than Zendaya, so everything I'm saying still adds up.
And no, it doesn't, because that was like his second or third film, bro. What are you talking about?
But he's had more films. You were talking about, am I going to a movie?
Jazz. Come on, Jazz. In this conversation, based on what he's saying, he keep on talking about where they were when they did this, right?
No. I said I preferred Zendaya over Halle Berry. If you asked me to choose, so I chose. You said who going to the movies to see Zendaya or Halle Berry?
We off there because that was just me having another conversation. We're referring to the drug user conversation.
That's like closer. Chris Rock and Zendaya is closer to me than Halle Berry and Chris Rock.
You keep, but why do you keep on saying he been in the acting thing so long? Because when he played Pookie, that was like 91, 90.
That was a response to you saying, "Am I going to the movies to see Zendaya?" And I'm just like, you can't really that comparison.
Okay, cool. I get why you trying to bring. I get you trying to bring that conversation up, but we off there. I'm done with that. We done with that part of the conversation. Yeah, because it's a dead point. It's a dead point.
All I say is I like Zendaya. That's it. I just like her.
Pookie. So we're doing Pookie versus Rue. If that's where you want to go.
If you change the poll, then
is this another poll?
Yeah, like
I just said it can be the poll because it made him stagger.
We just went through that entire discussion of it being Halle and Zendaya. So we definitely doing that poll. Now, if you want to throw in we want to throw in Pookie and Zendaya, we can do that too. So, I mean, what you think?
It was early.
I mean, and then realistically, of course, if you're going to think Halle was better than Zendaya, you damn sure probably going to think Chris Rock was better than Zendaya too, so you're gonna be in the same situation going against Zendaya.
Exactly. So I didn't.
I mean, it's not that I'm rooting against Zendaya.
I mean, shit. I don't know. Earlier you said fuck Zendaya.
And he was like,
like what you got caught up in the moment.
I'm just waiting. I need to see that from her. She does a lot of B work. I'm ready to see the A work.
Let me ask you this.
I don't feel like she's a lead. I don't feel like she's a lead in her own show no more. No.
Let me ask you this.
Who's on the poster of Euphoria?
Pookie or
said what?
Halle Berry? Wait, before we get to that, Pookie or
Pookie? They're going Pookie.
Oh, so yeah. I'm sorry. There's no point of doing Zendaya against Pookie.
It's not.
Right. There's no point. All right,
why?
Chris, what was your question?
Why is not a point? That's my thought. That's not your thought, Jazz. You still Zendaya, right?
Yeah.
So what you mean there's no point?
Because you stressed it from Halle Berry and Zendaya, and then you added Pookie in once Halle Berry got kicked to the curb. So it's like a handicap match, like 2-on-1. Like which one is it?
He moving the
goalposts. What do you mean it's a handicap? What is the handicap?
Halle Berry, we both chose Halle Berry. And we said our piece of why we chose. We both chose Zendaya.
We can do the Zendaya.
This nigga tried to
Halle Berry. That's fine. That's fine.
No, you were saying you don't feel like she'd lead in her own show, and I was just like, who's on the poster of Euphoria?
What is the poster? I don't feel like I just don't. I don't feel like I don't feel like the show is really about her no more. I feel like she's narrating the story of everything else that's happening around her.
So everything revolving around her.
Not necessarily, no, not at all. None of this stuff has anything to do with her because she's on drugs in the house.
Jules doesn't have anything to do with her.
I mean, I guess you could kind of compare it to Atlanta because at first we thought it was all about Earn, but then we started seeing other storylines didn't connect to Earn.
Right.
So
I feel like
the central focus
is Earn. So that's what I think Euphoria is doing.
I think like Jacob Galati characters are probably bigger at this point.
Then Rue?
Nate.
Yo, bro, fuck Nate. Nah.
How is Nate a bigger character than Rue when Rue and Jules' relationship and then Nate coming into the whole storyline?
Season 1. That was season 1. Season 2 is different. It wasn't centralized to her no more.
Well, she on the poster for season 2. That's all
I personally don't trust posters because we see how Game of Thrones, Ned was on the poster of season 1 and he got his ass up out of here. But I think with Euphoria season 1, Zendaya was the biggest name. So of course she would be on the poster for season 1. And then they were just like, we're going to incorporate multiple storylines.
Which makes
they're broadening it out. to where it's not just one person, which is actually smart because it gives the audience an opportunity to connect to other characters instead of just one. So I wouldn't say like she's carrying the show, because people have obviously had connections with multiple characters, whether if it's Nate, I don't know how anybody have a connection with him, but whatever. Cassie, what's his name that was dating Nate? That beat Cassie's ass.
Well, Cassie's old best friend.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like Euphoria doesn't just sit around one person. They have multiple storylines. So, but that's interesting. Was there anything else y'all wanted to add during this discussion? This was, it got spicy.
Jason made a whole bonus episode off of some.
Yo.
Boy, I tell you, zigzag all over again.
This ain't that though. This ain't that. I didn't move anything. I ain't say nothing crazy.
You definitely moved the goalpost.
I didn't. It would be different if I was like, who's the better actor or something like that. Like, then you could be like, cool, you have what you want. Then you be like, this person's been out longer than this, but it is what it is. How y'all feeling? Are y'all good?
Yeah, I was excited. Our first our newest segment. So,
agree to disagree. It's gonna get ugly. I don't think everyone of them
real ugly.
I better not ever do Marvel. I'm just telling you right now, don't do Marvel.
We gotta do Marvel. What is wrong with you? How we look not do a Marvel?
All right, I want you.
He got doggone Kang or something. He ran here thinking he got doggone.
I got both y'all. I got both y'all out the paint multiple times with Marvel.
You haven't, but it's cool. You haven't, but it's cool.
I admitted I got her out the paint.
I did.
With the courtroom.
Did I say that in 4K?
I can. You know you can search DMs, right? You guys don't know you can search DMs.
But anywho, guys, this was episode 32. This is Bullet Train. Again, you can watch this on Netflix. It's available to watch. Please like, share, subscribe, engage with us in social media. We do have a Discord community which allows people to get into it. And it's a lot of this. Honestly, it's a lot of us going back over the movies, probably more in depth than what it may sound like on here. So we do appreciate everybody. Chris, any last words, remarks, comments?
Thanks for listening. We love everybody. Appreciate the support.
Jazz, you have any last minute comments, remarks?
I do. Actually, I want to give a shout out to everybody in our podcast community. Other podcasts, we interact with people that's doing something similar to us, and then some that's not. But I definitely want to give a shout out to Third Eye Movie Review. They gave us a shout out today, and then definitely engaging with them was able to get some inspiration for our new segment. So shout out to y'all. But outside of that, and to our viewers and listeners, we appreciate y'all. So
we appreciate y'all. So until we meet again, thank you. And this is the WasItGoodTho podcast.
Cheers.
Bye.